Hurken ook trap sonsen. Trap sonsen, trap dansen. Toen is ons de hoekje door på land. Daar is stolt en door på de morgen daar.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Adam Hunter. We have a great show today. We have one of the best fighters ever, Yves Edwards, in the house, who's also now a great broadcaster, PFL. We both work for the PFL now.
Yes, we do.
My colleague, I'm so happy to finally say that he's my colleague, as well as Ponzinibbio is going to be calling in. The bad, you know who Ponzinibbio is?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, yes. We got Ponzinibbio calling in, as well as Juan Archuleta, who is 20-1, killing it in Bellator. That dude is killing it. Yeah. Yeah, we got a great show. And not only that, but we also have Nate Landwehr, who's 11-2, M1 beast of a guy from Tennessee. And we got you, the Weendawg.
Weendawg is in the house.
Greg
dude.
Wilson's coming in.
Greg Wilson.
He didn't know we had a show today.
It's a stacked card for the MMA Roasted Podcast.
It's a stacked card. I want to thank our sponsor, Speedweed. Listen, people, if you live in California, marijuana is legal. It's illegal. Also, my baby Violet's here as well. She's first and foremost. So, but marijuana, that's a great segue to my baby. Anyway, marijuana is legal in California, and you can have it delivered to you on speedweed.com. Listen, don't go out. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke pot and drive. Don't do all that, okay? Have them come. Have a great evening. Order vapes. Order... anything. Oh, you can order flour, order CBD lotion, order THC sex lube, order marijuana, order edibles. They will give it to you. Mention Roasted, you get $10 off, $100 or more. So that's really good stuff. And also, Santa Cruz Medicinals, people. Potent CBD infused coconut oil, olive oil, MCT oil, vape pens, and more. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, paleo, and sugar-free. It's lab-tested, and they got the best stuff. They have amazing vape pens. My wife, we cook with the vegetable oil, and she cooks, not we. She cooks, and I eat. And you could put all the oil on your body after workouts. You put it in your coffee, right?
Yeah.
Can you put it on your body after you cook with it?
Yes.
Well, what's good about the CBD coconut oil, it's good as like an oil to rub on your skin, or just put it in your coffee. It's no big deal. Yeah,
I'm telling you, they have all kinds of stuff, and their vape pens are the best. Okay, they have a strawberry lemonade vape pen, perfect on-the-go tool for discreet and fast-acting CBD. You can follow them at scmedicinals.com, scmedicinals.com. Mention MMA Roasted, you get $10 off your orders.
When you said discreet, I was like, I thought you said discreet, like, you know, when you were running down the street.
Oh, yeah. You could, right. You could streak, you could, all kinds of skeet, anything, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Listen, people, what's going on? So I've had a crazy last week. So I did a show on Friday. I did 2 shows on Friday in Vegas. I love Vegas. My favorite place to perform. Because I think it's because I'm kind of a throwback comic where I do set-up punches, and that's kind of like old school Vegas style, as well as attention deficit disorder is huge in Vegas. You know, and people just they want to get to the point. Yeah. And so I'm in Vegas. First show went great. It was at the Mandalay Bay. Like upstairs, I forgot the room of it.
Where the guy who did all the mass shooting.
Yeah, I wasn't in that room where the guy did the mass shooting, but thanks for derailing my fucking story.
Sorry.
The mass shooting. That's where I was doing comedy. I was doing comedy there, where they had right there. You're so dumb. But anyway, the foundation room is what I was going for, not the mass shooting room.
Okay.
Anyway, so I did the first show. It went great. It was a lot of fun. Actually, there was like a whole table full of like Filipinos, and they were laughing their asses off, and it was just fun. Next show, right? Dirty at 12:30 at the
South Point.
South Point.
Yeah.
So I'm on stage, and it's going well. But all of a sudden, I look in the crowd, and I see somebody like passed out in the crowd. And then I knew it was serious because then like 15 medics walk in, and I'm on stage. I'm like 10 minutes into my set. I'm like, oh, well, I've always wanted to kill, but not like this, right?
Yeah.
And then now I'm kind of worried that this guy's not going to get up. And then, of course, so now I'm trying to but I could tell that he was okay, but I was making fun of all the people walking in, like the EMTs and the security guards, because they were wearing like what looked like to be like vests for like swimming vests kind of thing, you know. And I'm like, great, in case we drown, you guys are here. And then I just started like just throwing it at him, and everyone was dying laughing. But I'm like, there were old people laughing. Well, I'm like, you're just happy that's not you.
Right.
I was hoping he just drank too much and couldn't get up, which is what happened. Because
Really?
20 minutes in, he gets up. Actually, he was in a stretcher, and he looks up and he goes, "You're really funny, man. Great show." And I was like, phew.
Wow.
But it was nerve wracking. Then what's going through my head is like, what if this guy did die? Well, if he did die, I'm sure he'd want the last moment of him to be a funny show,
fun, right?
Yeah. By the way, is Eve on the video?
Check.
Oh,
So
I don't know.
But yeah, so that's what I'm hoping. But I mean, if I'm going down, I want to go down laughing, right?
Yep.
But was he on the video?
No, not really.
All right, great. But yeah, but it was nerve wracking. It was really nerve wracking. And afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh, great show, great save." All the comics were like, because it could have went. They almost wanted to end the show at that point, just get the guy out. But I don't know. I was hoping he was okay, and he was. I'm like, there were like some black people, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why you guys are laughing. The cops are going to arrest you. so that was good. I mean, it was fun. And then there was someone else sleeping. I'm like, what is this?
For nothing. Wait, we got to go back and say for nothing.
For
You're
nothing.
Not even shooting.
Of course, for nothing. I'm like, is there a roofie convention here? Like, is this Bill Cosby's victims? Like, I was trying to make the best of a bad situation, which I did. Mm-hmm. So that was Friday. Then Saturday, I drove back. I did 2 shows Saturday night. I did the Laugh Factory, and to which I'm on stage, and there was a black woman in the crowd, and I said something like, "Oh, she was beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, I had sex with a black woman one time, and she got upset because I said I was trying too hard. Because during sex, I was like, 'Your life matters.'" Right, which I thought was kind of a funny. It's funnier if you laugh. Okay, so then
it's sadly funny.
It's sadly funny, right? So then she's like, she got mad. So will you repeat that? What did you say? And I was like, oh no, this could go bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I moved on. I went back to her. I'm like, we're cool, right? She's like, I love you. So I was like, oh. But I think that's the last time I'm saying that joke, because you have to like weigh jokes. Is it funny enough to deal with somebody getting pissed off? And that joke isn't that funny where it's gonna make my whole,
I get you. My whole thing about comedy is like comedy is no holds barred of communication, right?
Right.
Like there should be, if you step into a comedy room, nothing should be off limits.
That's how I am.
know?
That's how I am. But at the same time, you can't. If people get offended, they get offended, and if everyone gets offended, that's bad for business. Like if everybody leaves and walks out on you, you could say, "Well, you guys all shouldn't have came in." At the same time, she was just drunk and she was having a good time. But I'm like, that's sad. But that joke could go wrong, and it's sometimes not worth it. So anyway, so that was Friday, and then that was Saturday. And then Sunday was good. It's been a good day. And then Sunday, what else did I do that was funny? I did I had an audition, right?
Yeah.
So I had this
for
audition.
a TV show or movie?
TV show, Showtime
Okay.
show. And I'm like, it's for karaoke host. I'm like, okay, my line was, okay, who's next? That was the whole line, right?
How'd you do?
I'm like, I got this one.
Pressure's
right?
on,
I got
dude.
this one. I didn't have to work on it that much. But I got this one, right?
Did you forget your line?
All right. So I get there, and I notice while I'm sitting there, other people are auditioning for other TV shows. So I get there, and the guy's wearing a New York Mets hat, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, you're from New York. I'm a Mets fan. And oh, sorry, we in the cast. We have a really good rapport. And I was like, oh yeah, I used to work in Brooklyn at Brooklyn Poly Prep. I was a wrestling coach. And we had a good thing going, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes, okay, you know what? Before you do the line, I want you to sing. I'm like, come on, man. He goes, yeah, sing, get everyone into it. I'm not a fucking, so this audition went from really good to me scaring this person.
Wow.
Because then I just picked Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, because those are the, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know too much.
He didn't look too happy.
Wow.
Yeah, so there.
Did you know that was going to be part?
No, it didn't say you have to sing. It wasn't on the breakdown. It wasn't, why, karaoke people don't sing.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if this guy can think on his feet, because we don't have a writing staff and we can't.
Well,
write
I think I think he thought on his feet because they were running out of the fucking room angry. So then that was that, and then this is so today's my second day on my wife maternity leave is over.
Yeah.
Wait. It's your second day on your wife, but I'm holding your baby.
Okay, the second day. Thanks, Eve. I appreciate that. So my wife went back to work Monday, which means
Are you black?
Which means I'm on baby duty, and I give women a lot of credit because I thought it was going to be it's been it's hard. It's hard because this is her 5th different outfit that she's wore. My wife went back to work So
really?
yeah, I'm on daddy daycare right now.
Oh shit!
So I had to take her to wrestling practice, and I got a babysitter this time to meet me at the
Okay.
wrestling practice. So now I'm losing money on wrestling practice, coaching.
This is not good. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it for the money anyway, but
The coaching or the being a dad part?
coaching. But now I'm really not doing it for the money. So yeah, I give moms a lot of credit because it's hard. It's really hard. But I do love it. I mean, I love it. It's just like, she poops and I like change her diaper, obviously. But then now there's poop on her clothes as well. So I gotta change the
Yeah.
It
clothes.
shoots up their back, dude.
Yeah.
It goes way up their back.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
yesterday she peed everywhere. And then I like.
Yeah, most parents have been peed and pooped on. By
No,
the
I don't
kids.
peed all
I
the
mean,
time, but then she peed while I was changing her.
Yeah.
So now
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole changing pad is full of urine. So now she has a fucking water bed. So now I gotta put towels up there. And then I also messed up by like I accidentally put her her onesie like over her pants, so like a superhero kind of thing. So my wife's like, "Why are you doing that?" It's a lot of and then I take her to wrestling practice. On the way home, she's crying the entire time. So I'm playing Baby Shark the whole time. Have you heard of Baby Shark?
Oh yeah, baby shark, do 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 do
Yeah,
do.
it's got
baby.
1.9 billion hits.
Yeah.
Baby Shark.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that on loop.
Does it somehow work on the kids? Is it like hypnotic in some way?
Kind of.
It's
yeah.
super catchy. It's like a crappy kid song, but it's super catchy,
Listen,
dude.
all of them, they seem moronic, but it's their simplicity that works.
Yeah, and now then she's teething now. So,
So she's gonna be crying all the time.
she's trying to put everything in her mouth, and then her mom stopped. But yeah, but I do love it though. I love being a dad. It's just hard, because I'm leaving tomorrow for a cruise ship, and then my wife's like, "Oh, so you're doing on daddy duty for 2 days, and you're leaving?" I'm like, "Yeah, but somebody has to."
You're like, yeah, but I had it booked like 6 months ago.
Yeah, right, and she's like, "Well, I had my baby booked beforehand," which is true, but I don't know. It's a hard thing, but it's not supposed to be easy. But I love it. I mean, there's nothing better than waking up to her smiling face. It's
Sure.
nothing better.
It was easy. Everybody would do it.
Eve is now a grandpa.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's kind of awesome because I
Yeah.
get to do all of this and then just
And then they
hand her back.
leave. Exactly.
Wait,
That's
wait a
it.
minute. You mean grandpa as in you have a kid who had a kid?
Yeah.
That's usually the way it works.
What?
Yeah.
You have a kid who's like my age?
How old are you?
22.
She's older than you.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But you look 22 yourself.
I know. But
It's crazy, dude.
It
I
works,
never would have
works
thought.
when I go out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know. Are you single again? Are you seeing someone? Or
I'm single. I've been single. I've been single since I got divorced.
no, that's not true.
I was dating someone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's.
But then there was someone else right after her. You're like, oh, this is the one.
No.
And then there was somebody else. You showed me a
He's
picture.
like,
after I was dating.
after from Australia. After that one,
Nah.
there wasn't one.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're single. Now, you on any dating apps, Tinder or Bumble or Soul Swipe or nothing, right? They come to you.
I just meet people when I meet them.
Oh, good. I like
see, that's the patience of adulthood right there.
that. Being a grandfather.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I meet them when I meet them. I leave the house. I get a coffee. There's a
She doesn't like
She was
Greg.
totally
I'm
fine
sorry,
before
I
you came in
ruined
here.
it. I got too
Okay,
loud.
It's okay. It's okay.
I got too loud.
It's okay. It's
You gonna be okay, boys?
It's okay.
It's like the Bulls,
Baby shark.
Two bulls at the top.
Oh crap! I'm making
So
it worse.
You,
All right.
let me do some granddad
Watch,
magic.
there's actually a video called "Get Your Baby to Stop Crying in 10 Minutes." Let's see.
10
if
minutes?
No,
That's a
no, no,
long
no, no. It's a
time.
10-minute video. Let's see if this works. Watch. Hey, be nice. So, Greg, how was your week?
It was a good week.
Yeah, what'd you
It
do?
was a lot of fun. What did I do? Oh, I did one of these backyard weed shows.
Oh yeah, Roberts. The
Yeah,
How
have you
was
done
it?
that? It was
No.
a blast. He had a great crowd, and he has a huge little plot of land, and so there was plenty of room to for everyone to sit out. He had a really nice setup with all these tables, and he had space heaters because it got a little cool at night, and it had good lighting, good sound. The whole thing worked, and I had a monstrous set. But it was one of those things where this happens all the time when I start getting messages like, "Hey man, are you close? Hey man, where are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I was gonna leave in like 20 minutes." They're like, "The show started a half hour ago." I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
no.
fuck! I thought it was at 8." They're like, "No, it started at 7." So now, like, all my plans are blown up, and so I had to drive. I wasn't gonna drive, then I had to drive. So and I'm hauling ass. I'm like, this isn't worth getting a ticket or an accident over. So I had to remind myself to constantly. And then I get there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're fine." I'm like, "Ah, you asshole."
By the way, Eve is helping with my baby a lot right now.
Right, Eve is doing great. All the dad skills
Eve,
kicking right
would
in.
you have another kid? Were you thinking about it?
Was I thinking about it?
Or would you have another kid?
Would I?
Because then you'd be a grandpa and a dad. Like how would that work? Like your uncle would be your.
I have an aunt that's 2 years younger than me.
Oh, really?
I'm the same way. I have two aunts that are about one aunt is my age, and then another one that was like 2 years older than me. And we grew up like they were cousins more than aunts.
Oh, that's awesome.
There we go.
So Eve, what's new in the life of Yves Edwards?
Not too much, man. Just getting ready for the PFL finals.
Yes.
That's going to be fun.
Right.
I've been spending a lot more time with like family, so I'm going back home to the Bahamas for Christmas.
Yeah.
I went home for the month of part of September. I got my black belt, my granddaughter, and I went home in September.
You got your black belt under who?
Travis Took. Out of
Okay.
Houston, Texas. He got his black belt through Gracie Baja, but Travis is one of those high level black belts.
Because you're black. Is it just called a belt? Or no?
That's why Mexicans go from purple to black.
Oh yeah, they skip over the and that's why I stay at like white the entire time. It's just a belt. So okay, so you got your black belt. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So when you get a black belt in jiu-jitsu, I should know this, but does that give you the ability to give like lower belts like ranks to rank them up? You can?
Yeah, you can. I don't give anybody belts though.
Yeah.
Just because it's all about the skill set.
Right.
Like I've been a black belt technique wise for a long time.
Right.
But now it's official. It's one of those things. It's like I'm a world champion, but I still don't have the belt.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now,
What was your base? What was your foundation discipline? Like, what was the first thing you started in? Like boxing or?
I started in traditional martial arts, then I moved into the mixed martial arts world, and I started with Muay Thai, Jeet Kune Do, and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Oh, okay.
So, like the Jeet Kune Do is not really a thing, but it did actually help. There's some little things, some of the technique and some of the drills that you do there kind of help with some sensitivity and stuff. But primarily Muay Thai and Jiu Jitsu.
now, I heard
Those were your first ones? Those were what you started with, or that was your first MMA ones?
First MMA.
What was your
style.
first one?
Karate.
Karate.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a kid in the
That's
Bahamas.
cool. Hey, yeah, you started with something.
Yeah.
I always wonder, because it tends to be like karate, it tends to be wrestling or boxing,
Yeah. Nowadays it's wrestling, and wrestling is like the best foundation. That's
It
the
seems
glue.
like
man.
it for sure.
That's the glue that holds everything together.
Wrestling seems to be the great neutralizer.
But now, is it hard for you to get good at wrestling?
No, initially a little bit, just to, when you go to the gym and you're learning jujitsu, you don't know what you're doing for a long time, and then one day it clicks. 3, 4, 5, 6 months in, it clicks, and you start to understand what's going on. You hit your first submission or whatever. Same thing with wrestling. When I first started doing it, I knew what a sprawl was, and I knew how to shoot a double leg. Kind of half-assed, But as you learn the technique, and then you start learning the transitions, and when you start scoring on Division I wrestlers, then it's like, oh shit, I can do this.
Right.
And then you get more excited about it, and you just kind of immerse yourself into it, and then you just kind of skyrocket for a while.
Now, I heard a rumor that Poirier was training for McGregor. Have you heard that?
I have not heard that as a fact or a rumor. I have not spoken to Dustin in a couple days, but I saw that they were talking about Dustin versus Conor, Khabib versus Tony, and the winners fight each other. So those are fights that I'm interested in, and I want to confirm that with Dustin before I say anything like, yeah, that's happening. But I mean, he's always training, he's always getting ready, and I would love to see him get that Conor fight back, because the fight was exciting, it was entertaining. The shot to the back of the head that really damaged him. But again, that's just a part of the game. I'm not saying Conor did anything wrong or whatever.
Right.
Conor threw a punch and it just happened.
When I saw that rumor on Twitter, I got excited because I thought that was a great idea.
That's a great tournament.
I still think they should make the 165 division, but then again, it is going to be a big clusterfuck with all the other divisions. But
I
feel differently
I would love
about that.
to see Ferguson versus Khabib. That would be talk about two guys who are just tough as nails.
Yeah.
And love to, and that's what I think you saw some of this last weekend in all these fights. I forgot which one it was. One of the main headlining fights were the Rickles fight.
Rickles.
Oh, you're talking about Bellator?
Yeah,
I was cornering.
Rickles fight. You could see these weren't just two guys who like to hit. These were two guys who like to get hit.
I was a little disappointed. I was in Bamba's corner for that, and that was a really good fight. But And the only reason I say I was disappointed was in the result. You know, he has the skill set to beat that guy. He was not too confident in his wrestling, and when he was on top, you saw the damage that he could do. You know, you saw him in control. So,
but ultimately, I feel like he looked like he took more damage.
Yeah, he did,
and that's ultimately, I think, because they were just, I mean, back and forth. But it really, I thought Rickles
won.
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. Rickles did win that fight. It's just you know it's weird being in the corner because it was an entertaining fight. I went back and watched it after the fact, but during the fight, I'm not enjoying it as much because I'm trying to encourage the guy that I'm cornering to do different things, to be first, you know. And he was first at times, and when he was successful, but he just wasn't consistent with it, and that just kind of hurt his cause.
To be honest, I thought Bombo won that fight.
Yeah,
he got the 2 takedowns at the end.
He got the 2 takedowns.
And the second round, I mean,
I thought it just as a matter of rounds.
It could have been. It could have been either way. That fight could have been either way.
It could have gone either way. I completely understand why it went to Rickles. I scored for Rickles when I look at the criteria and everything like that. Bamba did get the takedowns. And that's a fight that he can win. I think that fight happens again. He wins that, 9 out of 10 times, at least 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
but,
listen, I thought Rickles looked the best he'd looked since the beginning.
Yeah, he looked good in that
physically,
fight.
He looked the best he'd looked in a long time, and just like in terms of his stamina and everything else, I thought that was definitely the best he'd looked since the begining. When he first came out, it was hot.
Yeah.
You know? That's how I thought. And I was like, wow. Look, Rickles fucking did it.
Yeah. There was a lot of good Bellator fights. I was kind of annoyed about Anthony Njokuani. Chitty. Yeah, Chitty. But I wanted him to. I like him. I wanted him to win.
Yeah.
But man, you know what? Also, I told my wife. I said we should get a babysitter during the podcast. She's like, no, you don't need to get a baby. And now I'm like, why the fuck did I not listen to my own instinct?
Well, because you were hoping to go and be like, okay, you're right, let's try it.
No, but I said 2 hours. I'll get because they have like an Uber for babysitters.
Is that right? They go over 2 hours to help out.
Yeah. And this would have been fine, and this would have happened. But instead, I listened to my wife, and then that really bothers me. But it's okay. It's all right, right?
It's all right. Now she's calming down.
You need to put your foot down, Adam.
I know. I'm such an idiot because I.
No way. You did the right thing. You compromised with your wife.
Gonna be like, you don't have your baby crying the whole time. I could just see the fucking comments that these people are gonna give me.
She's a little bubba.
Yeah, but it happens. What did you think? So yeah, the Bellator fights were good. We had a Juan Archuleta.
Joe Schilling's fight was good.
Yes, Joe Schilling, but. Yes, that was, but I don't know how good that other guy was though.
The other guy, I mean, it was definitely a guy brought in to test Joe, right? Joe, and he took that fight on what, a week or 2 weeks notice? You know, no, the other guy. Joe had a different opponent, but that I forget his name right now, but he was undefeated. You know, his last fight he made 55. He's a big guy. He's a 170 pounder. He's truly a 170 pounder. He's little. I mean, he's smaller than Joe. But it was a really good fight for Joe in that it showed an evolution in his MMA game. You know?
Yeah.
Joe has been lost when he hits the ground. Like, he didn't know what to do in the wrestling department, but in that fight he showed good hips. He did a lot of good things, and then his ground and pound was vicious, man.
Now, I want to talk about some of the UFC fights that went on over the weekend. I'm telling you, Junior Dos Santos, I was so impressed with that guy.
Yeah.
That other guy looked like an animal in all the other fights. And I was like, okay, Dos Santos is old. It was great for it was like Cocoon like this weekend. The old guys came back. Shogun and Dos Santos.
Cocoon.
Really, they did great. I didn't see that happening. Did you?
Yeah, well, I went Dos Santos again. Another guy that came out physically looking to me better than he'd looked in a while. Dos Santos looked really trim. He looked kind of cut. I was like, oh shit, he looks pretty young for a guy on his way out. And he was like, oh, I'm not on my way out. I'm here. I was impressed. I was surprised.
I saw the finish. I didn't see the fights. I was watching the boxing match, but
yes,
I saw the finish. And Tai Tuivasa, I picked Tuivasa to win that fight.
Me too.
And Glover. Dos Santos is one of my boys. He's a teammate. He's at ATT. But I mean, Tuivasa, he's one of those trucks. He hits like a truck, and he's aggressive. And I like his. I mean, he's like a better version of Mark Hunt, you know, for MMA.
Right.
And for Dos Santos to do what he did. He rocked him, and then as he was backing up, he just landed big shots.
People say the fight was stopped early because Ty was like still throwing bombs from his back, and then they stopped it when he was not bombs, but
I was gonna say you
he was
can't
not
throw bombs
bombs, but
from
he
your
was
back.
throwing.
People are saying that that's not an intelligent way to defend yourself, throwing punches from the bottom.
Yeah.
What do you
You're
think?
not defending yourself. I mean, if he's taking a bunch of shots while he's throwing up shots, that's just his mentality. He's not trying to protect himself and get back up. But he's still in the fight, so I understand
Right,
that.
yeah.
But it's not an intelligent defense. That's one of those situations that it is situational in that the referee's discretion, because he's taking big shots at the same time. So you're gonna let a guy sit on his back throwing up things that are prayers and taking big shots to the head, or are you going to step in and stop it? I mean, he was taking big shots, so I understand the stoppage, but I also understand people saying that was not necessarily a good stoppage. I agree with the stoppage, but I can see the other side of that.
Yeah, there was a couple of good fights. You know who I was most impressed with was Tony Martin beating my boy Jake. I like Tony Martin a lot.
I like Tony,
and I like
man.
his girlfriend Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
But
She's going to get him pregnant.
But he beat Jake Matthews, who's a tough kid. It seems like Jake just had like a momentary lapse. Tony came back and won. How good? You train with Tony Martin?
I moved around with him. I haven't really trained with him. I moved around him a couple of. He comes to the PFL sometimes with Kayla, and I moved around with him a couple of times. And Tony's good, man. Like, he's really good. He's really improved too. He's going to be in the top 10 at the end of 2019 for sure.
Do you ever watch the PFL and think to yourself, like,
I watch the PFL every time.
Of course. You ever oh, don't give him that laugh. All right, so
No, that was the right response. He covered that fast.
I know, but he didn't let me finish the fucking sentence. All right, so did you ever
Oh,
watch-
did he step on your joke? Is that what the
No,
problem
that wasn't
is?
a joke. All right, nothing. Do you ever watch PFL and think to myself, man, that $1 million, that payday, I could get in there and do well against these guys and possibly win it?
Man, that $1 million is really enticing, you know? I think about that all the time. And yeah, in my prime, I can walk through that division. I walk through all those divisions. I don't care. But like
Sound like
now,
a grandpa.
What's that?
I said you sound like a grandpa.
but
Good one, Ween.
like when I think about it now, it's like I just my body, I can't commit to that, making that weight consistently like that. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's nice, but it's not for me.
Right.
But 10 years ago, I was all over that.
Now, how many guys do you think from the UFC and Bellator right now are looking over at the PFL and saying to myself, hey, Lance Palmer, Steven Seiler, one of those going $1 million. Sean O'Connell versus Vinny Magalish, $1 million. Some of the, I can beat those guys, or I think I could do well against those guys. Let me in that tournament next year.
Yeah. And I hope those purses go up over time. Of course, I don't think it'll change next year. But here's the thing about that. When you see the number, let's look at the heavyweights, right? Felipe Lins and Josh Copeland. Number 3 and number 8. The 8th seed guy. And Copeland is probably in the heavyweight rankings. He may be ranked in the 30s or 40s in the world. So all the guys that are ranked ahead of him probably believe they can win that $1 million. There's a lot of guys that want that. But here's what's going to happen. When, nobody's really concerned right now because nobody's made that $1 million. We've seen all these things come up before, and then nothing happens. Remember the IFL? That was supposed to be a big thing. All these different promotions are supposed to be a big thing. But when they see these guys get that $1 million, when that money is actually paid, it's going to be a lot more attractive.
Right.
Right now, people are like, oh, that's cool, but are they going to get paid? That's where a lot of people are. I'm going to tell you right now, they're getting paid.
Yeah, I'm over, and they also have the Kevin Hart investment. They have
Tony Robbins.
Ooh, those are deep pockets.
And then Mark Burnett. All three of those
God.
All three of those guys
They'll
invested
be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for next season. This season's already shored up. I mean, the money's already there. $10 million prize pool on New Year's night.
Ooh.
Now
a lot of
the
money.
Usman fight, we thought that was going to happen. I'm like, RDA's seems like if he has an Achilles heel, it's wrestling. Usman's such a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's bigger. He kind of bullied him the whole fight, won the fight.
Really?
Dana says that Usman Woodley might be the fight to make if Colby doesn't. Thoughts?
I think if Woodley loses his title, right? If Woodley doesn't walk away from the game and leave it there, if he loses it, it's to Usman. I'm not saying Usman will beat him, but he has the best chance of everybody. Tyron is a better credentialed wrestler, but Usman can wrestle. His striking is improving. He's just a grinder. He's consistent. Remember his win of the Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah.
He's a completely different fighter. If you go back and watch that and then watch his last fight, he looks very different. He's not just a wrestler anymore. He's not just a guy with good cardio. He's got good striking. He's dangerous. He's smart. He picks his shots. You know, he knows when to attack with what attacks. So he's a very dangerous guy for Tyron Woodley because of his skill set. And Colby isn't. Colby's got the wrestling acumen. He's got the conditioning, but Colby doesn't hit that hard. You know, his striking's not on point like that. And can he take those bombs from Tyron? I'm not saying, and I don't know if anybody can, but I believe Usman's defense is going to be better than
What about
Colby's.
the cardio factor that everyone says Colby does not stop? Tyron, you know, people said they've seen him in fights get tired.
Yeah, you see Tyron slow down, you know, but that's one thing about Tyron is even when he slows down, even later in the fights when he's not as consistently as explosive, he's still explosive. He still has that one-shot power no matter what time of the fight it is. And 25 minutes is a long time for Colby to not eat one.
Now, what's this bet they made that every time they made a bet that Colby goes in for a takedown, he's going to have to pay Tyron $10,000 or something because Tyron wants to keep it standing? Colby's not going to take that bet. I mean, Colby's his whole chance of winning is to take him down and grind him
Yeah,
out.
I mean, why would you bother with that anyway? It's like, yeah, let me give you part of my money, and then let me lose my money while winning.
Right, of course.
Makes no sense.
So that fight it's not official yet. That
It's not
fight.
official yet.
Oh, okay.
So Tyson Fury, we'll talk about that fight for a second. Wilder Fury. My thoughts on that fight. I wasn't upset it was a draw. Look, I know it's hard to watch that because I think that people were giving Fury too much credit for making Wilder miss because he wasn't really landing that much back.
I agree.
But every time he was making Wilder miss and everyone's like, oh my God, he's killing him. I'm like, yeah, but he's not doing any damage back. Yeah, maybe he's outpointing him, but not really by that much. Now, the shots that Wilder landed, he really landed. I mean, knocked him down twice in the 9th and the 12th. But those first couple rounds, it wasn't like Fury was really hurting Wilder. People, it's a boxing match. But I didn't see those rounds being that much either one-sided or even, they were very close rounds. Very, very close rounds. And I think the draw is the way to go. But I'm excited for the rematch. What did you think of that fight?
Yeah, I like the rematch. I feel like Wilder fought a smart fight in the first 2 rounds. In the first 2 rounds, he looked like he had a game plan. And then after that, he just kind of abandoned it and looked for the big shot. I like that rematch, man. I want to see that. And I believe Wilder is the better fighter, better athlete going in there. I think Tyson Fury just used a higher fight IQ in that fight. He stayed focused on what the job was when Wilder just wanted to take this other guy out.
But also, the guy started fighting at 20 years old, Wilder.
Yeah.
Where Tyson Fury came out of the womb, he was born, his grandfather was a boxer, his father's a boxer, his he's been boxing his entire life.
He's got a pedigree.
Much better pedigree as far as boxing goes, and he's 60 pounds heavier. But the way they look, you're like, oh, this black dude's going to kill him. Because one dude's shredded and doesn't have an ounce of fat, and the other guy looks like, it's the big O from a cartoon. Okay, but if you look
like
at
the tough finale.
But if you look at Tough Finale,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
right.
heavyweight guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was awful.
Well, the heavyweight girls though, it's like
Wait, heavyweight girls? I
not
didn't see
heavyweight
the
girls.
tough-
No, the girls, the
145.
145-pound girls.
Yeah.
So that girl's gonna fight Cyborg next.
Strawweight.
I mean, that's insane.
Insane.
After Amanda Nunes, right?
After Cyborg fights Nunez.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there should never be. I'm sorry, but there should never be, especially in the women's divisions. But even in the men's, I don't believe that you come out of the tough house and then you fight a UFC world champion.
Well,
that's
that
a
makes no
big
sense.
jump up.
It did work for Matt
Yeah.
Serra though.
Yeah, but he was also in the UFC before he went to
That
the
was
tough
the
house.
better
Yeah,
comeback
he was
season.
already ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how do you see as far as Kayla Harrison? Right, I'm a big Kayla Harrison fan. She's a 2-time gold medalist. If you don't know her in judo, only American to ever win the gold medal in judo, man or woman. She did it twice. She's 155, which she fights at. They're making a whole tournament for her. Basically, they're going to give $1 million to anyone that wins that tournament, which is crazy because they can't find any girls that are 155 anyway.
Yeah.
Like fighter girls. If I was like Leslie Smith or even Ashley Evans Smith, if I was any one of these girls,
Ashley's not that big.
no, but she beat I think Fallon Fox at 45.
beat Fallon, yeah.
So any girl that like if I was 10 at 135, if I was ranked number 8 and below, I'd go straight to this tournament. Because if Kayla Harrison is the favorite going in, she had 3 fights.
Yeah.
3 fights.
What about that giant? What was her name? Gabriella or something?
Yeah, she could fight at like 235, you know.
Yeah.
But
Send her in there.
Yeah.
Well,
155 and up.
they really should
And
make it.
then
I mean, they should almost make it open weight, like 145 and up, because
For who? The
for
women?
the women. Because, but how do you think? But the question for you is, how do you think she would do against Cyborg in 2-3 fights?
Still not enough. She's nowhere near Cyborg 2 or 3 fights. She's improving and she's good. Her judo is definitely some of the best in the world. But Cyborg is way ahead of the game for the women. I mean, Kayla is going to have the biggest in 2 fights, 2 or 3 fights. How is she going to get her boxing to that level to deal with Cyborg? Because Cyborg, first of all, she hits like a truck, and she's vicious. Kayla just doesn't have that experience. You can't gain that kind of experience in 2 fights. She needs like 2 or 3 years.
But who's she going to fight in that time?
Don't know, but like it's just the nature of the world and the universe. She was just born at a different time and doing things at a different time, and now she's coming into the sport of MMA where Cyborg has been for a long time. That's a fight that
It's like my comedy with storytelling now, being all the rage. I'm a joke teller. Like fuck, 84, I'd be famous. So yeah, that's crazy. So let's talk about some of the UFC fights this weekend. Joe, write them down for me.
I'm no CB, but we have Max Holloway, Brian Ortega.
Yes.
That's,
Now this fight, I like Holloway. I just still don't know what was wrong with him. Do you ever figure out why he pulled out of that fight?
Even he doesn't know what's wrong with him, according to him.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
When you don't know what was wrong with you.
And right now, Ortega is the underdog, so place your bets in.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I've got my bets placed in yesterday. I'm all set.
What are you betting on?
I'm betting on Ortega, Valentina. I don't know any other fights in the card, but
okay.
I got a 6-fight parlay, like 5 of them.
Oh, before that, I want to.
Joanna's fighting, right?
Yeah.
Now, okay.
She's fighting Valentina Shevchenko.
Is she still? Did her name change to a slightly different, also fucked up last name?
No,
or is
that
it
was
the same
that
name?
was that was her sister who fought last week.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, her sister.
Okay, because
She
I'm
fought
looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute.
She fought at the
what
Ultimate Fighter
fuck?
finale. She's really good. That's her sister.
Are they blood related? Like, are they like blood
That's
sisters?
usually the way sisters work.
Because they look nothing alike,
unless they're
dude.
black.
he has
Like-
no idea about how families work. does he?
Yeah.
Are you from a family?
We don't know.
We don't. Yeah, I don't even know.
By the way, on that card on UFC Australia, give it up for Sadiq Youssef, who's also he came on the podcast. He's got like 18 brothers and sisters. He's from a polygamous family, like 4 moms, 1 dad, obviously, and they said the moms actually they don't all sleep in the same bed. They take turns.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like whoever's closer
They're
to the room.
sister wives.
Yeah, but he had a big
Badass.
win over the weekend. He looked great. I love that guy. And then also, what do you think about Joe
And then
Warren?
he scored with 2 of his sisters.
What do you think about Joe Warren?
I didn't see Joe's fight.
It was bad.
Really?
He got teed off. He just and it didn't look like he had it in him anymore. I like Joe Warren, but he's had a lot of battles.
It was kind of. I understand some of those guys were really disappointed in fighting on the undercard. They were trying to promote that DAZN
Yeah.
thing,
that doesn't
and I don't think a lot of those guys knew before they got there that they were on the undercard.
No, he knew.
Joe knew.
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah, that's really disappointing. How do you put Joe Warren though? He was the face of Bellator. How do you put him on the undercard like that? I know you're trying to promote.
It's
something
bullshit.
else,
But he lost to a good guy. That guy, Sean Bunch, the guy who was another great wrestler. But yeah, that was rough. And Brian Caraway, that was rough. I mean, he went into that fight, had his hands down, did not look like. I don't know, man. Why would you keep your hands down in your like 50th fight against a guy who's a pretty good striker?
He's probably upset.
What?
He's probably upset about his girl.
About Misha still? No, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
Who knows? I mean, I don't. It just was. It was.
you
rough.
asking me like to
Oh,
look
the
into
dog's
his
gonna
mind.
bark,
And I'm
and
like,
then the baby's gonna wake up. Oh God! Thank God the dog is somewhat deaf. All right. And Roosevelt Roberts looked great against Daryl Horcher. Maurice Green. He's the guy that I couldn't stand on the show. He was drunk. He was tall. The kickboxer. He beat Batista. This guy Batista, who's this Cuban wrestler who beat Daniel Cormier in wrestling.
Yeah.
And now he's like 40 and he's trying to do MMA now. It might just be too
too late.
Too late.
Sounds too late. Sounds really too
Got
late.
triangled, right?
Yeah, quickly. I was there for that. And then there's a guy named Edmund who beat the dentist, Darren Stewart.
Oh yeah, he trains at Coach Edmund's camp.
Yeah, he trains
Edmund
at-
was in his corner.
They were all there. It was
Yeah.
like a big hookah bar. Like it was all these it was all
lot of
Middle
smoke.
Eastern guys going insane. And then Jake Ellenberger got in trouble because he was sitting in the stands, had to run over. I guess he trained with them and give him instructions during the fight. And they were like, Ellenberger, go back to the stands. He almost got got kicked out, which was kind of funny actually. But
I've been kicked out of my own show before. It happens.
have you really?
Oh yeah,
For what?
Heckling yourself.
doing blow in the women's bathroom.
Really? Yeah. Damn. Was this Saturday night or last week?
This
Or
was a little while ago.
yeah, I got kicked out of Fat Cats in Modesto. I was in the girls' bathroom making out with a girl or something, and then some security guy grabbed me. I was so drunk. I'm like, oh, you want to wrestle? And I hip tossed him on his head, and then like 5 dudes dragged me out like by my throat, and I was like the comic from like an hour before. It was so bad. That was like pretty much the last time I actually drank.
How come the girls never want to go into the men's
I wish I could
restroom?
say the same thing about Coke.
You know what I'm saying? What the
All right, so Valentina is taking on Joanna. I like Joanna in this one.
Really?
Yeah, you?
No.
Why?
Valentina's gonna whoop that ass.
Is that because why?
Why do you
I just think
so?
she's better in every aspect. Maybe not striking, but she's come a long way. She's really tough, dude. And this is a different weight class for her.
Those girls are
Is
both
Joanna
pretty tough.
coming off 2 losses?
Yep.
Yeah, but to the same girl.
For the same girl in a weight, I mean, she was having a hard time making that weight, and I'm not taking anything away from Rose. I mean, that's a part of the job. But these women have fought before, and yeah, Shevchenko won those fights. But I don't know. When I speak to Joanna, she's like, she's like those. She just doesn't believe in her toughness, and she's going to push the pace now. I mean, is Shevchenko being the bigger woman going to play a big part into it? Because Joanna, she wants those back. There were kickboxing fights, and now things are a little different.
Joanna's also like a foot taller than most
She
of
is
the girls at
tall.
115. So
Yeah.
she's going to be, I think, at the right weight now.
Yeah, she was having a hard time making the weight. She never complains or whatever, but like this weight cut is going to be so much better for her. Every weight cut's hard, but we're going to see a different Joanna. We're going to see a different woman this weekend.
I think it's gonna be a fun
I've always
fight.
been a big fan of hers. Like from the very first time I saw her fight, before the title, I was like, this girl has. I called her
She's a fighter.
the little fists of fury because those fists were flying.
Yeah.
Like no girl I'd ever seen. And then when she lost on the second fight, I was like, okay, she's coming back. You're going to see the real Joanna this time. And then she lost again. And I was like, oh, is it over for her? Was
I think
that
she
like
took Rose lightly the first time. I don't think she realized how hard.
But then
Rose
the
hit.
second time she lost, that's what I'm saying. Like I think she did take her lightly the first time because she was at the crest of her wave. She was the big, she was all full of herself. She was like, I'm the greatest at that time. And so yeah, she took her very lightly, and I thought she got caught, by someone who was better prepared for her. But then the second one, I'm like, here she comes. This time she gets her, and then she lost again, and I'm like, okay, is it over for her? Did she lose her mojo?
She did look better in the second fight, though, right?
Yeah.
Right. But again, that weight cut is miserable for her.
That must have been it because that's I didn't expect her to look better than the first fight. I expected her to look dominant in the second fight.
Yeah.
I expected her to come out and beat her up.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. And I was like, did she lose it? That was all I could think was, did she lose it?
I don't think she lost it. Confidence is a big thing in the fight game too.
Yeah.
I mean, when technique is the same and the weight's the same and everything else, I mean, you need those intangibles, and confidence changes everything. And Rose, having that one win over her already,
Had tremendous confidence.
yeah, she had tremendous amount of confidence. She knew she was going in there to win that. I mean, both women walk into that cage when they're going to win.
Yeah.
But during the battle, it's like, am I still going to win?
Right.
I think that could have possibly crept into Joanna's head, while Rose is just like, it doesn't matter that I just lost that round. I'm going to win this fight.
Yeah.
And when you have that kind of confidence, you're able to bounce back and do
Yeah,
things
I
that
was
are impressive.
I was surprised but also impressed with Rose.
Yeah.
To pull it off twice versus Joanna, who had been the hottest fighter at the time going, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
she looked really, in the women's division, she looked pretty indestructible.
She's dangerous.
And then
man.
all of a sudden, Rose just took it away from her. That still blows my mind.
So also, Jimmy Manoa is taking on Thiago Santos. I like that fight.
You can't pick that fight, dude. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Well, Manoa is such a I never know what man was going to turn up.
Yeah, exactly.
He's one of those dudes that sometimes he looks like a world beater.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that guy Volkan that knocked him out, and yeah, that dude just hits really fucking hard. I think.
Yeah,
I think
like a truck.
People don't realize how hard that guy hits. But then I don't
It's
know.
hard to know without actually feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, by the way,
We can all look at it. It all looks bad.
By the way, that I got to ask you, Yves. So that Tyson Fury knockout, right? The last one when he came out after 6 seconds. Have you ever seen anything like that? And
No,
have you ever
never.
been knocked out like that?
I've ever been unconscious. I've been unconscious, but I've never been knocked down to where I can get back up. But seeing that was crazy because I was doing what Deontay Wilder was doing. I was like, whoa! I was celebrating. I was like, that was exciting. That was awesome.
Like the fight's over.
And then I was like, wait, he got up? I didn't see it. I didn't see him get up. But when you go back and you watch it, this is my interpretation of that. You see him, you see the referee counting right over his face, and he's like, I'm like, did that referee hypnotize him or something? Because he goes, and he gets up, and it's like you know when you're sleeping and you're awake but you can't move. I'm like, is that where he was in his head? Because like he literally tried, his head bounced, like he tried to get up, and nothing. His head just brought back down, and then he like. Because for me, in my dreams, when I'm like that, I'm like, I got to get up. I'm awake, but I can't move. 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, yeah. But in reality, I'm like, you know? And I think that's where he was. He was like, I have to get up. I have to get up. And he tried to get up. It didn't happen. He's like, all right, here we go. And he just like
Do
zombie.
you think he was never knocked out to begin with?
He was out. He was out.
Yeah,
you saw his head hit the mat?
Continue?
You see how his head hit the mat?
Yeah, so then how does that? How does somebody recover from getting knocked out?
I don't know. He's the Gypsy King.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, that should be the end of the fight. Like, that's the walk-away knockout. Yeah. Like, he's out, laid flat out, arms out. Like, even if he wakes up and stands up, how do you allow it to continue?
I don't know.
I was like, no, the fight's over. That man was out cold.
Yeah.
He
His
looked
arms
like he got
were
shot.
out to his side.
He looked like he got shot.
Like, flat on his back, whap.
Yeah.
And then, then he kind of springs up. And I think even if he springs up, you're like, no, you're on some weird adrenaline push. No, it's
So
over.
when you were knocked out unconscious, how long did it take before you got up?
Before I was conscious, it was like 20 minutes. Like I was when I fought Stout, I was in the back talking to, I believe I was talking to Tyron. And I was in the middle of saying something. And I was like, all of a sudden my consciousness came back to me like, where am I? And why is my wife in here? Because I was like, she's not supposed to be back here. And then I asked him, this is the first thing I remember. I was like, what happened? And he's like, you got knocked out. And I was like, fuck, to that guy? I'm just like upset.
Hands
And
of
isn't
stone?
that,
Yeah.
Isn't that always the question, though? Isn't it the first thing every fighter asks when they come to? They're always like, what happened?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I was like, I'd seen other guys get knocked out before. And now my consciousness is back. So I'm like, how many times did I ask that question?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
asked
saying.
it a
Like,
couple
I
of
mean, the
times.
fact that he was able to just get up,
That's
and I also
crazy.
think that's also why people think he won the fight as well. I think people because that was such an amazing comeback story. But here's what
I don't know.
When the
I
fight
was amazed that I was like, what do you mean you're not going to let him
when
keep
the fight was
fighting?
first announced, my first instinct was like Tyson Fury might win. I think he's gonna win. I think he's a better boxer, and I think Deontay Wilder has that. He's had too many holes in his game, or what he does well is amazing, but then there's a lot of things where you're like, that looks a little amateurish, and this is just from look, I'm not saying I can do it better, but or even close. But then when I watched that fucking Showtime All Access, they were like, this guy took 18 months of partying and cocaine and doing nothing. And I'm like, okay, that's it. There's no way that a guy can take 18 months off while there's other guys training and come back and gain 150 pounds and have to lose it. It's just not going to happen. The other guy was training hard. It has to catch up to him. And it didn't. I mean, I was wrong. I thought I was like, logic sometimes.
I remember when I first heard about the fight, it was a promo came on the night before, and I remember thinking, who is fighting who?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then the next night, I go in and I see Adam at the He goes, can you believe the fight? And I was like, yeah, can you believe the ending? And I thought we were talking about the Dos Santos fight.
Yeah.
And he shows me the video, and it's the fucking end of the Fury fight.
There's like three really good: Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Wilder.
What fight happens next? The rematch or Fury and Joshua?
I think they're gonna do the rematch because I think it just becomes too hard for them to make Joshua. That's the problem with boxing, is that it just becomes so hard to make these good fights. everyone too many moving factors.
So then, does the winner of that fight Joshua?
Yeah, but I think, and that's why I'm kind of hoping. I want MMA guys to get paid more, but
Yep.
everyone's like, "Oh, I want it to be like boxing, where the highest bidder." And then my fear is that it becomes like boxing, where now we don't have the best guys fight each other. By the way, as a guy who was teammates with Robbie Lawler, how do you see Askren Lawler going?
That fight should play out like every other Askren fight. If anybody can make that difference, it's Robbie. Robbie hits like a truck, you know. Robbie's smart about fighting. He's going to try to keep that distance. Askren's got to wrestle him to the ground, but like you're not getting up from Ben Askren.
Have you ever trained with him?
A little bit,
What's
but
it
like
like?
a long time ago, when I didn't know how to wrestle at all. And yeah, he molested me, you know.
You should put like a Me Too out there and be like, 12 years ago, Ben Askren molested me on the wrestling mat.
Dude, that's the thing. When I look at jiu-jitsu and the wrestling, I'm like, there's still a lot of contact, man.
So?
Okay.
That's
Maybe
part
you're
about
cool
it,
that
man.
It's not like blowing the guys. I mean,
It's still a lot of contact. I don't know. The guy, especially when you do the head fighting and he presses his face right into your...
football guy.
You touch the guy for a second.
But the guy's-
For a
the
second. You
quarterback-
knock him the
He has
fuck
his
out.
hand in his asshole.
You
for,
guys fucking knock him the
4
fuck out.
seconds. What about-
You guys are rubbing up against each other for fucking like 5-10 minutes at a clip. I don't know. I'm just saying,
All right.
it's a lot of contact.
Thanks, buddy.
Who else is fighting on
that
this?
sounds like someone that's never been in a fight.
I'm not since I was a kid. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know. I know that's how most fights wind up, are on the ground, right? And I would love to do some of that training. But I mean, when I watch it, I'm like, man, that's
Has
a lot
nothing to do with your cardio?
A lot of man-on-man contact.
Nothing to do with your cardio?
Oh yeah, please. I'd be done in seconds.
All right.
You're one of those
I
guys-
would tap out in the warm-ups.
He seems like one of those guys who peels the banana and breaks it.
No way, dude. I smash it into my... I, of course, mash it, add peanut butter, and spread it on some toast.
There really is no straight way to eat ice cream, though. That's fucking hard. You ever have ice cream cone and you're like all into it? Everyone's like- all right, so Gunnar Nelson, Alex Oliveira. That's Cowboy versus Gunnar.
Yep, I got Cowboy.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Gunnar?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's good.
And Gunnar's not good?
No, they're both good. I just see, when's the last time Gunnar Nelson fought?
Ponzinibbio, right?
He got killed by Ponzinibbio. I think he's fought since then.
Has he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Greg, instead of looking up your football scores, we look up the last time Gunnar Nelson's fought.
Gunner?
Yeah, like
Gunnar.
He's gonna be like, not since he did that song.
I just know you can never bet against Cowboy because he's really good, dude. But he has his moments where he sometimes gasses out and gets clipped and rocked or whatever, like with the Nancy Maderos. But he's really good,
I was
He
dude.
just doesn't fight smart.
Yeah.
I was surprised when he beat Will Brooks.
I wasn't.
I had really.
Yeah, not that I don't have confidence in Will. It's just that he's a bigger guy. Will was going in there with and then that rib thing. But he was winning the fight, right? I believe Cowboy was winning that fight. He's just he's just really big guy, man. He's big. He was what was that? He didn't make the weight either,
He didn't make the weight.
right?
And then Kyle Bonchak, who's like, he's the guy that was like, fought one of the
He was Zabit.
beat, and he was almost won. I mean, he was getting the shit beat out of him, but he was hanging in there against Hakeem Dawodu, who I know that guy
Dawodu.
because I was in Calgary, and they were all so high on this guy, and he trained with Conor McGregor, and then he got like knocked out quickly or stopped quickly his first fight, came back, won his second fight, but they're really high on this guy Hakeem. He's from Calgary, but it's a tough fight for him because this guy Kyle, you got to shoot him with a fucking cannon to stop him.
Yeah, I can't bet on that fight. It's just I don't know. You know?
And then your girl, a girl that trains at your gym, Nina Ansarov.
Ansarov?
Yeah, Santiago is last time he trained. Yeah, is fighting Claudia Gadella.
Yeah, I like that fight. Nina is tough, man. Nina, I was her first MMA coach. I didn't know. She told me this one of the last times I saw her. She came in the American Top Team. I used to teach her MMA class when I lived there. And, so that was the first time she started training.
No
And she
way.
went down to, Then she went down to Miami and trained there and met Amanda, and then they came back to ATT. But
Now, her and Amanda, what's that relationship like?
like a marriage?
Really?
Yeah.
They do like all that scissoring stuff.
I don't know. I don't spend time with them.
I've been told by practicing lesbians that the scissoring isn't a regular part of the routine.
I heard that too.
Yeah, that
Really?
it's like something they just do in like videos with girls that aren't actual lesbians.
Oh, okay.
Like it's more for dudes, but like they don't actually just fucking
Scissor?
yeah, just fucking
It's weird. Like what is that? It's like
just mush their muffs together.
it's like slapping lips. Just
Yeah, it's like they're just
difficult.
rubbing up against each other. That seems like it'd be highly inaccurate.
I had a friend.
you know what I
Puerto
mean?
Rican-
You got to get right on the nub and treat it right. You can't just like just mash it against some shit.
Yeah.
I had a friend when I moved here from the Bahamas. He's Puerto Rican, and he used to call that making tortillas.
Oh, wow.
Making
Now, how did you
tortillas.
ask these actual lesbians?
I don't know. It's during some kind of discussion about porn, I'm sure.
Okay.
Well, who do you got in that fight? Claudia versus Nina.
Well,
Whichever one
I
was
like-
willing to mash muffs.
I like Claudia in this one, but everyone at American Top Team says Nina's the greatest girl there.
Legit. Nina's legit, man. She can fight.
But Claudia, I just think is
Yeah.
I don't know. She's beating better people. Nina's 9-5. Claudia's 16-3.
Yeah,
But
but how many fights has Nina lost in the UFC?
I don't know. Good question.
Like one by decision, I believe.
Yeah. Jessica I versus Caitlin Chukagan. This should be a good fight. We've had Caitlin on the members. She came
Oh,
on
yeah,
the podcast
yeah.
from Long, Jersey.
Yeah.
Hot karate
She was super
girl.
cool, yeah.
We know Jessica I.
Yep.
Also hot, fun, angry. It should be a good one.
Yeah.
Caitlin's karate beat Jessica's boxing. But Jessica became a big wrestler now. She's fallen in love with wrestling.
Yeah.
So if she could add wrestling to her game, oof. I think people that pick up wrestling late sometimes almost like they skip all the bullshit, get right to like what you actually need for MMA.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know what the thing about that? Anytime somebody picks up a new skill and then they want to focus on that,
Then
and
they
it's not
do
their
that.
best skill, then they wind up getting beat.
But that seems like to be wrestling with strikers versus strikers with wrestling, because it seems like all these like Johnny Hendricks or Josh Koscheck, they find like a great right hand and they stop using their doubles and singles. But if a guy who has a good right hand starts just wrestle fucking people, it's not like that's going to be a bad thing.
That sounds like all wrestling.
Eric Anders, our boy,
Yeah.
taking on Elias Theodoro. Also
Oh, boy.
Ooh.
I like Anders in that fight.
Why?
More explosive, powerful, young, a little bit younger in the fight game. And I think his arc is sharper. You know,
Yeah.
it's steeper. I think he's
Better
I think
athlete.
he wins that. Yeah, for sure.
And then OAM is taking on Gilbert Burns.
Man.
Is he top team also? Gilbert Burns?
No, he was with the Black Zillions.
OAM, he has not achieved what I thought he was going to achieve. Like, when he first came out, I was like, this guy's the next big thing. He's still obviously really good. Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu is incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. By the way, were you at that smoking weed jiu-jitsu underground thing?
Yeah, high rollers.
Yeah, well, what is
Yeah,
that?
that's what it is. High rollers. They
So
get
you hear
high
about
and
this?
They roll.
It's a
Sounds great.
It's a tournament at a dispensary,
Uh-huh.
and they have to smoke pot before they roll.
Well, that's nice. You're already taking your pain medication. You know what I mean? So you can...
Did you compete in it?
No.
Why not?
I was commentating. Why didn't I compete? I'm not doing a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Why
I'm
not?
He'd smash everybody.
Woody, have you ever done it before?
A long time ago. I guess I would do a jiu-jitsu tournament, but I don't want to do a tournament. I would do like a super match or something.
It was
something
Crazy
like that.
Horse against Daniel Strauss, right?
Yeah.
And then I was surprised. Strauss won, but it was closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was pretty close. I was afraid because that was the first thing Daniel's done competitively since his accident, you know. But he did well. He was fine. We were all hanging out the night before, so it was just like two guys that just
Yeah, yeah.
they were just rolling.
But
It was
I was
fun.
surprised Crazy Horse has good jiu-jitsu.
I was surprised at Crazy Horse's technique. He was doing a lot of cool things.
He hit me up recently. He wants to get into acting. But his name is Felony.
Yeah.
It used to be Crazy Horse, now Felony.
Might be a little tough to get in the room. Who do you want to send in? Felony.
He used to be Crazy Horse.
You used to be Crazy Horse. So you're sending in a crazy horse who's committed felonies.
But the thing is, I do think that if you get him the right role, he would kill it.
Yeah, but
not-
everybody's going to put him in the same role.
A doctor? Yeah, I don't know if he wants to do like Shakespeare in the Park. It seems like he wants to do like Power.
Yeah.
I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, but
He wants to be the guy that steps out from behind the guy and just opens the bag and shows you the drugs. Like the real actor goes, show him. And then he steps out, and then it's like, there you go. Now he's an actor.
now you were in Ballers.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
that?
That was really cool. That was super cool. That was.
I like that show.
I like it, man. And I've watched every episode, so that was super cool to be on a show that I like to watch, and have some lines. And then, I learned a little bit about acting then, and I was like, this is cool. And it's a lot easier than doing stunts. I want to try to do this more often.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I want...
It's a lot easier than doing stunts. Yeah, for sure.
Did people recognize you? They're like, hey, I saw you in...
Yeah, I got some good feedback about it.
People give you feedback?
A little Twitter love.
Yeah, some Twitter and Instagram love, and some yeah.
Did you know?
I need to get some group. Hey, I'm a meme.
I was about to say
meme.
that he's a freaking famous internet meme.
Yeah.
I'm like world star.
I'm
hip-hop
waiting for the checks to come rolling in.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your meme?
That's not how internet promotion works. The thing with the internet is you put it all out there and hope no one hates you for it. And then maybe at some point it adds up to people loving you for it.
Wait, what's your meme?
Somebody did a video of I had this video of my weigh-ins. Somebody had put some other music over it and said if I was a fighter, this would be my style or something about my bringing food to the weigh-ins.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big deal.
And then your handshake, right, was also recently. Did you post that about your handshake? What didn't you instead?
What were you eating on the scale? You were like,
Yeah. Eating Twinkies and
You're like,
chocolate.
listen, just get the number and I'm fucking done with this shit.
Now, was that feel like psychological advantage?
Or were you just hungry as fuck?
No, it was at first it was something I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And I see how it could potentially be a psychological advantage, but these guys are the best guys in the world, so I don't expect for that to play a role in the fight,
Right, like not so much that they're sitting there like, this Twinkie eating motherfucker.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
It was kind of cool because I would be close to weight. I would wake up the day of weigh-ins at like 158 pounds or something like that, and I could lose 7 pounds in a workout, but I'm that close. I could lose about 5 or so. If I get 58, I get down to like 52, 53, and I eat a little bit.
Yeah.
And get back up to 55, 56, and I can walk on the scale with some goodies. And also, just it kind of makes it miserable for everybody because back then that was the real the one weigh-in. And I would be backstage, and I would be snacking on little things because I know my weight was under, but very close. So guys are backstage, and everybody's miserable for a while. You're doing all the doctor's checks and all of that, and in those little things, I'm like sucking on a grape or something, eating little things, and I think maybe that played a little bit of a role into, man, he's not as miserable as we are, but at the same time, some guys probably looked at me like, yeah, he's the small guy, that's why he can do that. I'm just going to crush him when I put my weight back on.
Now, what were your thoughts on Chuck Tito? What's up, people? Listen, 66% of men lose their hair by the age of 35. And the thing is, once you start to notice your hair loss, it's too late. It's easier to keep the hair you have than to replace the hair you've lost. Trust me, I've lost hair. It's not fun. No, I look at my pictures, I'm like, oh, the good old days. Why can't they come back? All right? Is that hairline slowly starting to move backwards? Any bald spots? Yeah, be honest, people. Be honest. How would you feel a year from now if it was business as usual up there? You'd feel great. You'd feel amazing. Now, why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing? They can turn to medicine and science. Here's a solution. Go to forhims.com. It's a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. Yes, Hims connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat hair loss. Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to keep your hair. Yes, keep your hair. No snake oil pills or gas station counter supplements. No waiting room. No awkward doctor visits, okay? You can save hours by going to forhims.com. Order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today. Right now, supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost hundreds. You went to the doctor or to a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/roasted. That's FORHIMS.com/roasted. Forhims.com/roasted. What's up, people? Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. They got a non-intimidating way for stock newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence, all right? It's simple and intuitive. They got a clear design with data prescribed in an easy-to-digest way. Listen, they got amazing value. They got no commission fees. Other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. No, they don't keep all your profits. Their design is easy to use. They got easy-to-understand charts and market data. Place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. Yes, just 4 taps. And you learn by doing. Learn how to invest as you build your portfolio. Discover new stocks and track favorite companies with personalized newsfeed, okay? And then you get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right time to invest. And they're giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. Sign up at MMARoasted.robinhood.com. That's MMARoasted.robinhood.com. Check them out.
I thought it was not a good idea before it happened, and after it happened, and as it was happening, I was like, yeah, this is why it's not a good idea. Like, Tito looks like an athlete, and Chuck looks like an old man who used to be an athlete.
Right.
You know, and Chuck never looked that much smaller than Tito before. And then seeing him get dropped like that was hard, man. He's 49. Like, and you won both those fights. I understand there's money on the table, but what are you trying to prove?
For Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Money on the table.
yeah. But I mean,
it had to have been about money.
I feel like
Well, maybe he just missed the glory.
But
you know?
don't you also think that it was the responsibility of some of his friends, training partners, or coaches to be like, no, man, this is not going to happen?
I wouldn't doubt that there aren't people that told him that he shouldn't do it, but when he said he was going to, they're like, well, I got your back. You know what I mean? That's what a friend is.
True. Who was it that said that they kind of like walked away from it? They're like, you can't.
They said Hackelman did. They said Hackelman was like, no, absolutely not.
That's right.
That's a real friend.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, I'm not going to be a part of this.
Hello, is this Nate?
Oh, yeah. What up, man?
All right, you're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. We got Nate the Train. This guy's 11-2 from Tennessee. And I watched your promo. You're hilarious, by the way. You are. I had no idea who you were before last couple days ago, and now I'm like, I can't get enough, Nate.
Oh, yeah, man. That's the job, man. Make believers, have a good-ass time, and, I try.
Now, you're from Tennessee, and you're on like, a 3-fight winning streak over at M1?
Yeah, I got a 3-fight win streak with Ben. I'm on a 5 or 6 fight win streak altogether.
Nice. And when's your next fight?
Shit. 15th, like in a week and 10 days.
Against who and where?
It's going to be December 15th in Kazakhstan versus Andre Lesnev for M1 Global Featherweight World Championship title.
Nice. Now, dude, your promos were hilarious. I was laughing pretty fucking hard. This guy, I don't know why you're not famous, man, because you're hilarious, bro. Look, hold on. I'm going to play some of his promos.
What up, Russia? What up, all you Russian M1 fans tuning in September 23rd for the M1?
Yeah.
This your boy Nate the Train, the one and only Nate the Train, freshly signed Nate the Train, and I know what all you Russian fans is thinking. You thinking, how can a man this handsome? And on September 23rd, I'ma prove to you why M1 signed me. Why M1's flying me across the seas from the state of Tennessee to throw down. And I can go into motivation like all these other fighters. I can tell you about where I'm training, how I'm training, and who I'm training with, but none of that matters. The only thing that matters is on September 23rd, Nate the Train will be stepping into that M1 ring for the first time against a valid opponent, and you're going to find out real quick, can the man fight? Is he all hype? Is he going to sink? Is he going to swim? Is he going to lose? And is he going to win?
The body intercuts are great.
Dude, you're hilarious, bro. I'm happy. Now, is your style based on WWE wrestling? It seems like it's kind of cutting that kind of a promo.
Oh, man, every kid from I'm 30, so every kid from my generation grew up watching WWF for sure. So,
Right.
I was like, shit, if I ever get a chance to spit some water in the air, you already know I am.
Well, you knocked that guy out in the second round. You got 7 knockouts out of your 11 wins. You haven't lost in like 3, almost 4 years.
Yeah, the last time I lost, man, I didn't take it serious. You know, I wasn't training full time. I was working another job. Shit, I got beat on that. I was like, fuck it, let's take this shit serious. Started training full time, and man, it's not even been close since.
Dude, I watched your fight at M1. You come out to ACDC. You come out to TNT. You have like a manager with you. I don't know who that guy is. I never saw a fight with a manager.
Oh, that's my hype, man. That's my boy Angel, man. He's been with me from the beginning.
You got a hype man. Now, are you banging some of these M1 ladies? Are there a lot of women in Russia?
Oh, no. I'm happily married. Married with my beautiful wife, Robin. Hey, babe.
So, okay, that's
good.
That's good. That's good. Now, how close are you to think? Now, do you want to go to the UFC or Bellator or PFL?
I mean, shit, not Bellator or the PFL, but I mean, UFC talking about something good. I mean, I'll go, but I'm happy with what I got right now because I mean, M1 treat me very well, and I get to do whatever the hell I want to do, and I ain't got to worry about nobody telling me what to do, when to do it. You know.
You don't want to try to come to the PFL and win $1 million?
Shit, if you win it all, you can get $1 million. I mean, that'd be cool, though. I mean, shit, I'll be a free agent, and I mean, shit, money talk. You already know bullshit walk 1,000,000 miles.
Now, you sound like you're from like the streets of Tennessee. Are you from a very black area?
Oh, man, you know, I'm just from St. B. What's up, baby? St. B, stand up. You already know Clarksville. We got a bunch of killers, man. You might not know nothing about Clarksville, but we keep it gangster over here, and we got one of the biggest Fort Campbell's, the biggest base. We got real killers walking these streets.
There it is.
He's got real killers. I believe it, man. I fucking believe it.
Fort Campbell is military.
Is that what he is?
Yeah.
All right. Now, what's your base out of? 'Cause I know you're knocking everyone out. You, by the way, your stand-up, he's really quick. I said his striking is really good. Is it wrestling your base or boxing or jiu-jitsu?
Man, I just, when I was growing up, I played football and I did a couple other sports and just always loved fight. I was tiny. I was a small guy, so, when you're tiny and small, you can never bluff your way out of no situation. So just get to scrapping. I could never not, get to talking shit. If you were big, somebody going to back down, but when you small, they all about fighting this. I mean, I got into plenty of fights, and there was nothing that satisfied me more than doing some cool shit on the football field or telling everybody about somebody I whooped during the weekend or some shit like that,
I like it. But I mean, are you a black belt? Do you brown belt or what's your?
All right, so I'm officially like a purple belt, but I mean, I just I don't take classes like that. We train. We brush up on all that. I got a great training camp right there with Wildside, straight out of Clarksville, and we keep it straight fight related. If you can't do it 100 miles per hour, full speed, sweaty, bloody, and gritty, then it ain't gonna really work.
And what's the tattoo you have on your belly button or right above it?
Oh, that say Faith.
Faith, got it.
I got that shit in. Man, that's a funny story. I got that shit in college, right? And midway through getting that tattoo, the tattoo gun broke. So I was walking around with Faith for like a month or two until I got back. I got the TH. Everybody made fun of me and shit. They was calling me Faye Boy. What up, Faye Boy?
Right. Well, by the way, you're talking to a UFC legend. Yves Edwards is here also, by the way. He was going to ask you about PFL. So he was the one who asked you about that. And then Greg Wilson and Weendawg. Any advice for this young buck, Yves?
Man, he seems like he's on the right track with so many consecutive wins, getting finishes, and sounds like he's good with a microphone.
Yeah, you're great with a microphone.
That's what everybody loves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, I'm a natural at it for sure. I mean, I've always liked to show off, and I've always liked to fight, and I've always liked sports. So I'm kind of intertwined them all. I mean, I'm snake to train all the way. You
beat a guy that we had on recently, Adam Townsend. We had him on the show.
We had a war back in 2014.
You guys are both from Tennessee. Was this for bragging rights in Tennessee?
Oh yeah, we can have bad blood. He beat one of my homies. He beat my teammate, and I didn't like it. And then hold on one second.
My man.
drug deal.
I like this dude.
This guy's hilarious, right? Why is this guy not in the UFC? You tell me you wouldn't watch this guy?
I absolutely watch this guy. This guy's got the hype factor,
I got the hype factor, right?
which, is a
My
big
bad,
part
my
of it.
bad, I'm back.
Oh, it's all good. So what happened with you and Adam Townsend?
Oh man, we came in. It was shit. We was talking so much shit back and forth. I was like, shit, let's do a winners take all. So man, he didn't get paid not one dime.
Wow.
And I came into his city. I mean, looking back on it, yeah, that was a good fight we went 5 rounds. That's the first time we went 5 rounds. And hey, I don't care what you say. 5 rounds is tough, no matter who you are. And man, that was probably one of the. If you watch that fight, it's worth watching 100 times, 200 times. I mean, we keep in contact. After you fight a man for that long, you kind of know him well. And I'm proud of him, man. He's doing his thing right now. Of course, he's at welterweight now, so makes it a whole lot easier to be friends with people that's not in your division.
Has anybody in the UFC contacted you?
Well, no, I mean, I got a couple homies in the UFC, and they like their deal, but I mean, I like my deal a little bit better. With M1 Global, they signed a contract with the UFC, so I got to defend my belt twice. I got an automatic optional contract with the UFC, and I can fight dual, so I can fight in the UFC and M1 Global, so I won't even be locked down with the UFC at all.
Wow, I didn't know that. You know that, Yves?
Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, ain't it? That's like, and that just happened after I signed with him, so I feel like everything's coming into tuition, and everything's happening like destiny was planned it.
I like it. So, okay, so where can I watch this fight on December 15th?
Oh man, you download that M1 Global app right now on your smartphone. You know everybody got a nice smartphone. Just go download it. You go plug it into the TV, computer, whatever you need to do. And hey, there ain't no good movies out really worth watching. There ain't no really good spots to go eat. If you want to have a good time, watch me, Nate the Train, hold it down, go to battle, and it's gonna be fantastic. If they got 100,000 chairs in the venue, they ain't gonna need one.
I love it. Well, good luck, Nate the Train. Good luck with everything, man.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all having me. Anytime y'all need me, just hit me up. I'm ready to come back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, you're the best.
Take care, Nate.
Yeah, man. Have fun on that run.
Stay black.
That was Nate the Train. My baby started crying.
I was like,
Honestly, I thought he was a brother.
yeah, dude,
when he was
he's not
talking.
black. He thinks he's a brother in a good way. I mean, clearly
Why
that's
do you think
Just the accent. Just the
you
accent.
didn't hear him talking.
Literally just his accent.
But I mean, hey, it didn't feel like it was disingenuous. I mean, some guys are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's their culture, and that's what that's what happens.
He's
It's not
like
it's-
Tennessee Mike Perry.
yeah,
He kind of is that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, except he wins. I'm just kidding. Mike Perry's a tough dude. We're gonna talk to a guy
Platinum
who fought
Mike
Mike Perry right now. If he answers the phone, Ponzinibbio, Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio.
This dude is.
He's got the funnest last name in all of
You
MMA.
think so?
Oh yeah, Ponzinibbio.
You think he's the best of all of MMA?
It's the most fun to say.
But you're saying it wrong.
Ponzinibbio.
No, it's Ponzinibbio. There's not two B's.
Ponzinibbio.
Hello, is this Santiago Ponzinibbio?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? You're on the MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter, here with Yves Edwards, the Greg Wilson, or Greg Romero Wilson, as well as Weendawg. How are you, man?
Hey, hello, man. Everything good?
Everything is good. How you doing, man? You're killing the game.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just,
Nice.
I'm back. You said. Good victory for back.
You're doing great, man. I was looking you up. So you were born to Italian parents, but you were born in Argentina.
Yes, I born in Argentina and lived in Argentina for 20 years.
Yeah.
After that, I moved to Brazil, but I born in Argentina, yes.
No, but your parents were Italian.
Italian?
Yeah. Yeah.
My grandfather, yeah.
Okay, got it. Now was it hard to assimilate over there, or did they accept you right away?
Yes, I think few days after the fight, for have amnesia, a lot of amnesia. I'm back. I go to LA for broadcasting the fight the last weekend.
I have the broadcasting in Spanish for UFC.
Right.
And now it's in the home. Yesterday it's coming to Miami.
Got it. No, I was reading about you, man. You have an amazing story. I read that you did kickboxing when you were 13. You wanted to learn MMA, but there was no MMA in Argentina, so you went to Brazil and lived on a tent for 5 months.
Wow.
By yourself.
That's commitment.
That's amazing.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, man. When I started in Argentina, I have a few fights in kickboxing, and I started training Vale-Tudo. In this time, I have a few fights de Vale-Tudo in Argentina. And I like to start, I stay better, they take more information, but I don't have money, I don't have contact, I don't have nothing. One friend pays the bus for go to Brazil. I go to Brazil and I stay in the camping for 5 months, and I'm looking for the guy have the shirt, the shoes, to ask him where's the place, where. It's crazy, but this started everything. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, but like, where did you shower? Like, did you live by yourself in the tent? Were there other people in the tents with you?
Yeah. No. With myself in the tent, I stay in the camping, have place for take the shower, everything. And after that, I moved to the different pension. It's a different house. It's a rental room, Yeah. I need to work a lot when I moved to Brazil. Different work. I need to work a lot and go training a little bit, Yeah. It's not easy.
No,
but
man, that's amazing. It shows you how far you've come. I have so much respect for you. Were there any hot Brazilian women on the beach, at least, that like kept you company in the tents?
What?
Were there any pretty women on the beach in Brazil that at least hung out with you in like the tents at all?
No.
None? Oh, I was gonna say that maybe could make it easier, but that's hard. that's hard, man. I mean, do you think back sometimes where you're like, is that what makes you so tough? All the things that you had to kind of overcome.
Well, sorry, repeat. I understand.
Is that what makes you so tough? Like, do you think back at all the struggles you had to kind of make it to where you are?
Sorry, no understand.
No, it's okay. It's all good. Now, when you got on the Ultimate Fighter, Brazil, and then you would have made it to the finals, but you broke your hand, right? Punching.
The arm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
broke my arm.
Yes, you were punching Thiago Santos in the face, and then broke your hand.
Yes, but in the real, I broke my arm, not my hand. My arm, my radio.
Oh, your arm.
The radio broke. Yes, yeah, shit, it's terrible. But the hand, I think, is not too hard, But the radio, the arm, wow, man, it's really. It's big injury. I continue the fight. I broke it in 2 minutes the first round. I continue the fight. When finish the fight, three rounds with Leonardo Santos. This tough guy, man. He beat GSP in Abu Dhabi in 30 seconds. He was tough. Leonardo Santos is never lost in UFC. He's a good guy. He's a good opponent. And I broke the arm in 2 minutes. The first round, I continued the fight. I finished the fight. I won him. I won in decision, but I broke my radio in 10 parts. I have multiple fractures in the radio. And it's crazy, but it's good. I have 4 fights in the top. I won the whole fight. I have 2 knockouts, 2 good fights. I won. I have the bonus, the best fight of the temporary. I bonus the best knockout of the temporary, and won my contract for UFC. It's good, man. It's good. And when I go to the top, the people don't like. I'm from Argentina. It's big rivalry because the soccer. When I start the reality show, the people don't like me. But when the reality show finish, I do the best fight the whole TV show, and I easy guy. Always I am take it easy. Always smile, and my fight is the best fight the whole TV show. And when I out the TV show, the reality show, the people love me in Brazil. The people put me the nickname Gente Boa. It's a good guy. This in Portuguese.
Oh, okay.
Gente Boa. It's good experience. It's a good experience.
Right.
Now with the Brazil, the people love me. It's I have a lot of fans in Brazil, and it's good, man. It's good.
Absolutely. Well, in Argentina, you're like a god over there. I watched the UFC from there. I mean, they went crazy when you fought. They were going nuts.
Yeah, man, it's amazing energy. I back to my home, my country, my people, and when I start, nobody know where is the UFC, but now all people know, man. Now the sport get up a lot, but a lot. All people in the street recognize me. All people know who I am or understand for the sport. It's amazing. It's beautiful, man, and it's a really good energy all week, the fight week and the fight after fight. Really good experience, man. It's really good.
No, it seemed like Neil Magny in the last fight was a little scared of you. Like you hit him once, and then he was like, "Fuck, I do not want to get hit again." And it just seemed like a matter of time before you take him out. Did you kind of sense that he was a little bit? And did you think that his corner should have stopped it earlier?
I think Neil Magny is a tough fighter. He beats
A lot of guys.
Big name.
Hector Lombard. And, yeah.
Hector Lombard is tough guy. He knocked out Hector Lombard. He beat Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah.
He beat really good guys. Him is tough, but I have a really good strategy. I put a good strategy. I put a lot of pressure, and he can't work. He can't work. But if I give a little bit chance, if he works, maybe he finish me. For him, it's tough.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
And the idea, my strategy. I blocked him. I put a lot of pressure, and I know I need to be careful for this guy. And it's a really good performance. I think I have a really good performance. For he can.
You did great.
Have nothing. And yeah, it's good victory for sure. I am happy.
Now, who do you want to fight next?
Man, for me, Tyron Woodley, man, I'm ready. I am the next champion. I am ready, but the rank is not make any sense, man. I beat in July the last year a Gunnar Nelson in 82 seconds, a beautiful knockout. After that, I beat a Mike Perry. He coming well in this time. I stopped him. Yeah, he's number 10 in the ranking. I deserve minimum number 7, number 6. Now I knock out one more time. I knock out the number 8 in the world. I don't understand. I stay number 7 in the ranking, but I think I deserve to stay in the top 5. I have 15 fights for Sufa. I won 13 fights. I have 7 victories in a row. I knock out 4 guys. Never stopped this guy. I don't know. I am ready for everybody in this division. I am ready, man. I am exciting fighter. All my fights is exciting fight. The people like me see fight. I am ready. I like the fight. If not Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman is a good fight. For he is coming well, but I know I am better. I know I can knock out him. This is a good fight too, man. But
I would love to see that fight.
When you stay in the ranking, it's a shit, man. For a lot of people, no, I don't fight. No, I don't fight with him. No, I don't fight, man. This sucks, man. Always, I say yes for UFC. Always.
Now, who do you think?
I never say no.
Who do you think wins?
Never, always.
Who do you think wins? Woodley or Colby Covington?
Who?
Who do you think wins that fight? Tyron?
Win the fight.
Yeah.
This fight happen or it's not happen? This fight is.
Well, I mean, let's say it does happen. Who do you think wins?
I think this fight is not happens, but if this fight happens now, I think, man, it's maybe a little bit more chance Tyson is, good fighter, but Colby's good fighter too, man. Have a really good condition, good rest, man. Maybe I think that this fight, Tyson have the power for knockout him, but if the time pass in this fight, it's better for Colby, for Tyson more retired and Colby better condition and good rested. But it's high level.
Now, but isn't Colby but isn't Colby your teammate?
Yeah, he trained in ATT. Yeah.
So do you guys train together?
No. But I trained for a few years before, yes, but now, no.
Who would win? You or him in training?
What?
Who won? You or him in training?
Come on, man. This training. Training is training.
So it doesn't matter. If you won, it doesn't matter. If he wins, it doesn't matter. But right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. I would love to. All right. So Usman. Usman's the guy you want. You want to fight Usman next?
Who?
You want to fight you. You want to fight Usman next, right? Kamaru Usman?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready for everybody in this division, man. I don't care, man. If Usman accepts the fight, it's a good fight. I accept. I don't have problem, man. I accept every fight. RDA is a good fight too. All guys. I don't care, man.
Now,
always I say yes for UFC.
Now, would you fight Woodley and Colby at the same time?
What?
Okay, let's say both of those guys wanted to fight you at the same time. You versus Woodley and Colby. Who do you think wins? Against you. Colby and Woodley against you. 2-on-1.
Don't understand, man.
All right.
Understand. What is the question?
No,
It doesn't make any
sense. It was a pretty
sense.
stupid question. I'm just saying that you seem like you're ready to fight anybody, anytime. And I love that about you. And it's bullshit that these guys are ducking you. Right?
Totally.
Right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes, 100%. Well, listen, Ponzinibbio. So what do you got planned this weekend? Anything coming up?
Yeah. The fight the last weekend.
Yeah. Who do you think wins this weekend? This week, you think Brian Ortega or
Max Holloway.
Holloway?
I think it's Holloway. It's a make a weight. I think he can win.
Holloway?
Yep, Holloway.
He likes Holloway.
Yeah.
By the way, we got Yves Edwards here as well. He's the guy you trained him, right? With Ponzinibbio. Yves is here as well. So he's saying that nobody wants to fight him. It's bullshit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight him either. You wouldn't want to fight him either? No. Yeah. Yves Edwards says he doesn't want to fight you. There's another guy fucking running away from you. This is bullshit. Well, listen, Ponzinibbio, thank you for coming on the show, man.
No, it's okay, man. Sorry for my English.
Dude, your English is
I don't
fine.
understand very well, but
you're better off not understanding anything I say anyway, honestly. But listen, you're a champ. You came from nothing. You came from a guy living on the tents in Brazil, and now you're ranked number 5 in the world, and you're going to be champion one day. I believe it. So nothing but respect for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Appreciate good.
Thank you.
The good energy.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Take care, brother.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Well, it's nice to know if we ever lose Hector Lombard, we've got a backup.
What do you mean?
That's just hard, hey, I put him in the cage. I want to fight everyone. Hey.
I like this guy.
I like them both.
I wouldn't want to fight that guy. Fuck. Yeah. Did you? He says I asked him who won, him or Colby, in sparring. He said it was just training. He didn't want to answer Yves. By the way, so my baby was crying in the crib, and Yves came and rescued my baby, who is now she's good now. She need a bottle. She was hungry.
She might need a change.
She need a change. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. All right, thank you, Alexa.
What the hell?
I appreciate it. Alexa,
The government is listening, dude.
Dude, I don't like that stuff at all. All this listening technology, I'm not down with any of it, dude. They've already had instances where they're like,
Grew up with that being normal.
Totally. Like, she's going to just talk to machines and they're going to talk right back. But, I mean, they've already run into cases where they're trying to, like, hey, Alexa had to have been listening when these people were plotting this murder. And they've, convicted people based on them listening to their conversation.
And nobody even said Alexa.
Hold on. So tell me this. Tell me why this is the case. Edward Snowden told us what the government was doing, and they were listening to our phone calls.
Yeah.
And all these different things. That made him a criminal. He told us the government was doing something wrong, and that made him a criminal. Is that
Right.
weird?
Who's that?
Edward Snowden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, listen, I thought we had whistleblower laws that were supposed to protect him, but I guess you can't whistleblow against the government.
I didn't want him getting mad at me, Ponzinibbio. I felt like he was getting mad at me for a little bit during that.
Oh, I think he was a little frustrated. Well, and the other thing is you also weren't adjusting your diction to accommodate someone who's translating while they hear.
Yeah.
You just kept like spitting stuff out. Against each other at the same time.
Oh, thanks
And
for
he's
helping me out, dude.
And he's, what am I supposed to do? Interrupt and be like, "Hey, man, slow the fuck down."
What's his native language? Is it Italian, Spanish? Well, I could have translated the entire time.
Well, why didn't you? Fucking guy.
So my Spanish is terrible.
But
I
wait
thought
a
he was
minute.
Italian.
And you're saying your Spanish is terrible?
All right, I'm gonna call. All right. So you talk to Juan Archuleta. All right, I'm gonna go change the baby. All right, so Yves is talking to Juan. All right.
There's no stops allowed when recording an episode of MMA Roasted. It is full go, no stops, babies, no difference.
No change.
No pausing, straight through. This is a bumps and all.
We're all in.
We are. This is a warts and all podcast.
Sorry, I couldn't get to the phone right now. Leave a message and I'll give you a call back. Thanks. Bye.
So we can't get Juan Archuleta on. We're gonna call him again.
We're gonna ring again on. By the way, Greg, do you know your commercial plays like 10 times during the UFC fights?
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
I saw that. I saw the commercial we did the Geico with Flo.
Yeah, Progressive. Yeah.
Progressive. I'm sorry. Yeah. And I was like, wait, I know that guy.
Yeah, man.
He's famous.
Dude, it's so much fun to watch that commercial. I always pause and roll it back, watch it again. Like, it never gets old. It's so cool. Because I've done so much work, but this is like one of the first things I've done in so long that everybody sees. You know?
Yep.
Like, the last thing I did with this kind of visibility was VH1 shows in the early 2000s.
Those residual checks must be nice.
They're nice. They're very nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a good Christmas.
I'm gonna go outside and look and see that brand new BMW.
I'm still driving the old BMW.
And you know
I haven't bought anything big yet, but I bought a bunch of little things.
Okay. Well,
I don't know his password.
uh-oh.
But it's crazy because Flo from Progressive, I don't even know her real name, but
There you
she
go.
has like.
So here's what you do. If you don't know the password, call Juan Archuleta.
Do you mean one of these?
No, it's not. He doesn't have them in there as that.
No, but Flo has like 4 other commercials playing simultaneously at the same time.
Yeah, she's making 4 times the money as this guy.
More than 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking like 10, 20 times. Like because there's a yearly contract, I would imagine.
Right.
And, for someone like her, and I asked her this on set, I was like, do you even know how many commercials you've done for them at this point? Because she's been doing this for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, no, but I think it's between 300 and 400. And this thing, when they make these commercials, they're kind of evergreen. I mean, they can plug, so they kind of reactivate commercials every year. They'll bring back some of their favorites that they feel like are right for now. And like they brought back the one where she plays her own sister, who's that commercial. And it also demonstrates what a real talent she is when she plays the other family members and stuff. And I asked her about that. I was like, "Were those your favorites?" She goes, "Well, it was just amazing that they really let me, play all these different roles and do so much with it."
I mean, she must be filming every single week, dude.
No, it's kind of this thing. I think she told me they do it like 3 times a year.
What?
Yeah, that's it. They get together 3 times a year and they shoot like a whole run of commercials. So I think they shoot like between.
And the rest of the year, she's on the beach, chilling.
Yeah, the rest of the year she can absolutely
raking in.
I understand
the
she still performs down at Groundlings on Saturday nights.
Oh, she's a comedian.
Yeah, she's a sketch comedian.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted to actually see her, she's usually at the Groundlings.
Yeah, you
really
creeps.
Yeah.
Good.
And
for
she's
her.
been on other TV shows. She had this running character on that show, You're the Worst, and she just pops up here and there. I mean, she's done a lot of other work. She's a very, very talented actress.
Well, what do you guys think about John Jones versus Gustafsson 2?
Whew, that's the question mark because, like, Gustafson closed the gap, or has everybody closed the gap on John Jones? And Gustafson was the closest, right? Jones.
I thought he won that fight.
Yeah, I don't remember details.
I just watched it again on Fight Pass because I barely remember it. And,
Yeah.
dude, he won. I mean, Gustafson, I think he won the first 3 rounds.
Oh no, sometimes you're a hater.
Who, me? I am a hater. I am a hater, dude. Look at my freaking outfit.
Yeah, I see that.
But I mean, I had Gus winning that fight. It's not like he dominated the entire fight. I can see the, I don't know, but I'm excited.
he was
Look at
more
the
like-
backpedal. Look how you
Do you
backpedal.
think
I
it was
mean,
more
I mean,
like
Gus-
the John Jones
won,
brand was
sorry.
more important?
What was that?
Do you think it was like the John Jones brand was more important?
For the UFC, I mean, yeah, just because of his pedigree at that point, and look
Yeah.
at his pedigree now. But I mean, this is going to be a crazy fight because how many people that John Jones has fought are the same size as him, or maybe even bigger?
Right, long and
Yeah.
has that kind of range for the weight.
Yeah, so I'm
and
excited.
that's always been his advantage. Is his ability, that reach.
Yeah.
Versus guys that tend to be a lot shorter than him in the same weight class.
and
That
shoving
was
his
always-
fingers in people's eyeballs.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. He did have a real tendency to do that.
We were debating, and
John Jones gonna beat him.
I mean, it's
Really?
tough to say.
it'd be
because-
nice if he's still at that same level.
Well,
but
that's the thing. We don't know.
He's been gone.
Who's coming into that ring?
He's never even rocked.
yeah, but do you remember when he came back against OSP? He didn't look the same.
He didn't look the same.
Yeah, but he's had 2 fights since then against Cormier, which he.
Yeah, but he's been out for just as long, pretty much. Right? That whole thing. Ring rust doesn't apply to everybody, but I feel like that OSP thing maybe says that it applies to John Jones.
I like that he's being honest now, though. That he told Ariel, like, yeah, I still smoke pot. I'm still drinking. I'm not ready to quit that. Like, I'm not ready to be sober.
I'm just gonna quit the hard drugs, the white stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess. Did he say that? I don't know. I didn't listen.
I
to
doubt
it.
that's the case too, because we all know, like, marijuana takes 3 months to get out of your system. Cocaine takes 3 days. If you're an athlete and you're between fights,
3
cocaine,
days?
yeah,
Really?
cocaine is a much safer choice than marijuana.
3 days, guys, system.
Yeah, unless they do a hair test. Your hair apparently keeps drugs like from 3 years ago.
Sure.
So, or even longer. So, so that they take a hair sample and they're gonna know what you've been doing for sure. But yeah, blood tests, like, usually cocaine's in and out in 3 days.
I had a friend have to do one of those tests one time. It was for weed. That's what he was concerned about, but he shaved everything.
Hello, is this Juan Archuleta?
Yes, it is.
Hey, how's it going? You are the father.
I was just gonna say he was worried we were calling for child support.
Sounds like a Maury. Juan, how are you, man?
Good. How you doing, Adam?
Good. Congrats on your recent win, man. You look great. Was that guy though? Was he tougher than you thought he was gonna be?
Oh yeah, he was tough, man. That guy took an ass whooping and kept coming.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you wrestled for Purdue.
Yeah.
So you must have been pretty accomplished. And then
Yeah.
I actually read that Dan Henderson's father was your wrestling coach growing up.
Yeah. Coach Bill, Dan, and then my dad and Sam Calavita were all my wrestling coaches out of Victorville.
So how long have you been in this MMA game? Now that you started out with wrestling, how long have you been in MMA as far as training it and wanting to fight at this level?
I'm sorry, say that again?
When was it that you decided? Basically, what I want to know is when was it that you decided? Yeah, MMA is the way I want to go because my wrestling and I'm liking this stuff.
Yeah. With wrestling?
When did you decide you were going to choose MMA?
After I got done wrestling out of Purdue, because it was like, I still wanted to keep competing and still, do something, but wrestling wasn't going to get me paid, so moved into MMA.
Okay, Juan, I was there at your fight. I was there at your post-fight interview. Man, 20-1, right? And you go out and you perform like you did on Friday night. You look really, really good. And you said that you want to win a belt in this weight class. You want to go back down to 135 too?
Yeah, that's the plan. This next fight, looking to go down to 135 and compete down there as well.
So you want to take 35 and 45 pound belts in Bellator?
shooting possibly 55, depending how the cards work out.
Nice. No, I'm super impressed. I didn't realize. Also, you're a pretty accomplished actor.
Oh yeah, well, the show Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. We Joe Stevenson and I. Well, mainly Joe Stevenson was the MMA consultant for the show Kingdom, and brought me along the first season. And I was an extra at first, and then the writer wrote me in, and I was a character in the show Kingdom with Nick Jonas, Frank Grillo, Matt Lauria, and Jonathan Tucker, and Matt Garbrandt.
Did you and the Jonas? Did you guys get close? Did you like part of his like entourage in like real life?
Oh, with Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a couple of his concerts with him, and yeah, it was awesome.
What's that like? Is there just like screaming chicks everywhere?
Oh, everywhere. Yeah, they're screaming dudes, screaming chicks. all of the above.
But he doesn't indulge in any of that.
Yeah,
like
it was
he's
fun,
got
man. He puts on a great performance, and he's a great dude. Got to hang out with him afterwards, party with him after his after parties, and hang out and have a few drinks and smoke cigars with him. It was cool. He's a cool dude.
How was his MMA skills? Do you think he has any legit MMA skills?
What's that?
You think he could actually compete in mixed martial arts? How was his MMA skills?
Yeah, he was very competitive. Actually, picking up stuff really fast, quick learner, very athletic, and super sharp. You know, he was a real good visual learner. Had to see it done, then he could just do it right away. Like jumping guillotine, flying triangles, and all that. Just jumping right into it right away. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Now, what's it like being part of like TJ Dillashaw's super team? I feel like he kind of put you and Cub and a bunch of just maniacs together. I mean, what's it like training with like the champion of the UFC every day?
Jeez, man, it's priceless. You know, I grew up, you know, with wrestling, and wrestling brings a lot of the fighters together. You know, and as far as training, because when you have two wrestlers training with each other, they know like the limits. You know, they know that one guy's not just being a dickhead, but being a good partner. Like if he's making you fight for a position, he's just giving you real looks. So being able to train with people like that is priceless. And once I started training with them, he's seen the cardio output that I did that, you know, just made a good training partner for him, and asked where I trained at or who I trained with. And I told him, and then I introduced him to Sam Calavita, and he wanted to move out to California. And we just basically, on the first Cody fight, I had a sponsor that had a gym, and we pretty much just opened camp at the building that he had, and it started from there, and now it's grown to what it is now.
How's he gonna make 125? The guy has like a 14 pack at 135. How's like serious?
Thanks to our Sam Calavita, he's down here in Yorba Linda. He was he wrestled at Victorville High School back with Dan Henderson, and he was he was my dad, a good friend of my dad, so I grew up with him my whole life. But now he started doing. He was one of the actually world's strongest man at one point, and time in his life, so a big power lifter. And then he did a whole complete 180 and started doing Ironman and triathlons, and just learned how to body hack the body pretty much and get peak performance out of us the right way without having to take any performance enhancing drugs. And so, you know, clean diet he goes into and does all the research, and you know, he's a mathematician, so he works with numbers, and he's able to calculate everything down to a T and just get us on weight. And, so for us, it's all mapped out through him, and he's gonna pretty much lay it out for him to get down to 25.
Now your record is 20-1. I thought that you were
21-1 now.
21-1.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
So I thought that you were the best kept secret in MMA for a while. And was it frustrating for you to be like, okay, I'm 10-1, I'm 15-1, to not get the accolades that you deserve?
No, man, because like it seems like nowadays, like the MMA I'm more of the old school. I like, especially with who I'm with, Joe Daddy Stevenson, Tiki Gosen, Paul Herrera, TJ, Dwayne. They're all old timers. They're all old school of the sport. So for me, I respect the sport. I respect the come up, the build up to it. That's that's the true MMA nature of it. And that's why I have such good respect from high level athletes and professional fighters, is because I don't ask for anything I don't deserve. I don't even ask. I just work my ass off, and if it comes, it comes, And all these other new school guys just run their mouth and try to use their mouth to get in the limelight. And me, I just let my hard work do the talking, my fighting do the talking.
Now,
and it's more respectable, I don't have to go out there and say, well, how come I'm not getting this or that, because when I do get it, it's because I deserve it. It's not because I talk my way into it. It's what's deserved to me through hard work and what I've done and, the lead up to it.
I feel the same way when it comes to comedy. Me and you, Greg.
That's right. Just got to earn it.
1,000%. Now, Darian Caldwell is going to Japan fighting in Ryzen, right? New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Against, who's he fighting in Ryzen?
Horiguchi.
Horiguchi. Yeah. Who's looked amazing since testing stopped. No, I'm not going to. But
Horiguchi. He's trying to mess with me.
But no, it does seem like. But Caldwell, I think Caldwell's going to beat Horiguchi. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a super talented guy too. I mean, he's a stud. He's an athlete, and shit, man. He's a D1 Division 1 champion for NCAA champion for a reason, and he's definitely. I see him walking through Horiguchi. Honestly, I think his biggest competition is the weight cut. But if he makes the weight, he recovers. He's going to go through and march Horiguchi down. And I know it's going to be different fighting in a ring, and the rules are going to be a little set different. But I see him just dismantling Horiguchi.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Juan. Have you ever fought in a ring? Have you ever fought with the Japanese MMA rules?
Yeah, I fought in a ring, but it was sealed off with a cage. And when I was in Lithuania. But with Pride rules. We switched the rules from American ABC rules to Pride rules, and it was actually awesome.
It is fun, right?
They actually added elbows as well. They kept the elbows, but they added soccer kicks, knees to a down opponent, and everything that comes with Pride.
That's just crazy.
And ABC rules.
How did you do in California States as well as and nationals in college?
So in high school, I was a 2-time state placer. My senior year, I tore my shoulder. My junior year, it was the first year they had junior nationals for high school. It used to only be just senior nationals. And then they did junior nationals, and I placed All-American there. My my junior year was an All-American, and then my senior year, I was out, and then I went to Sac City for a year. My only loss being to Chad Mendez. Actually, I lost to another guy, but wrestled Chad Mendez the year he was in the NCAA finals. Lost to him 7-6, and then transferred to Purdue. And I only qualified for NCAA's my junior year. My senior year, I was ranked top 5 and didn't make grades, and so I got I wasn't eligible second semester, unfortunately.
No, but I feel like
sucks.
I feel like you're people don't realize how good of a wrestler you are because it seems like your wrestling gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah, it is, but. Like I said, I'm the type of fighter that when the promoter's mad at someone, they're going to match him up against me for me to beat the hell out of them.
Nice.
Now, is Cub Swanson fighting Aldo?
That's what they're trying to schedule right now. I know right now Cubs, unfortunately, his whole family's sick, and so is he. So I think his priority right now is to make sure his kids and his daughter and his wife get better. So we have, he's been training here and there, but most importantly, he's making sure that his kids, because they're premature, that they battle through this sickness that they have and they get better.
Right, absolutely. Weendawg, any questions for the great Juan Archuleta?
Hey, Juan Archuleta, it's me, Weendawg. So
What's up, man?
what is What is your go-to move to seduce a woman? You know, I'm young, I'm handsome. I just need all these tips, dude.
What's my go-to move?
Yeah, to like seduce a woman. Do you just tell them you're like an MMA fighter? You take off your shirt, show them the 10-pack. What do you do?
Oh, on the streets? If I'm on the streets and someone wants to fight?
No, like a woman, like to seduce her, to like make love with her and bang.
Oh, a woman. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Like my wife?
Yeah,
like
sure.
My wife's is sitting there and I'm trying to get some action.
Yeah.
I'll probably like, for a little bit and, sock her in the butt and just,
Yeah.
And then the next thing, she knows it's on.
There you go. It's a little different when you're married.
Well, thanks, Weendawg, for the amazing questions. Listen, Juan Archuleta, I look forward to keep watching and keep it up, man. 21-1, dude. I'm honored that you came on the podcast. Thank you, Juan.
Yeah, man.
No, yeah, thank you guys for having me on. Hopefully doing a turnaround and be fighting on January 26th. That's the goal.
Wow, that's fast.
Who do you want to fight that day?
We're working on it right now. Hopefully, I think the biggest name out there right now, 435, is the guy who beat Gallagher, Bandejas. But we're working right now and trying to find a guy with a big name, or if that's him, that they give us, and we're gonna smash whoever's in front of us.
Wow.
Hey, what do you think about Aaron Pico and fighting him?
I just got done fighting him right now and sparring. He's
okay.
He's a stud. So we train together. So I don't see us, competing against each other in real life.
Pico's got a big fight coming up against Henry Corrales. They're putting him up against the Wolves, man. Corrales is no joke.
Yeah, him and Henry's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. Tell Aaron I said hello, man. I didn't know you guys were training together.
Aaron just seems like he's like he's like an alien. Like he's like the sweetest, nicest guy who's also a murderer. You think maybe that?
Yeah.
Right? Am I right on that one?
Yeah, he's a super nice guy, but will also take your head off.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, Juan. Take care and have a good rest of the week.
All right, thanks, Adam. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Take care, brother.
Nice.
All right, that was Juan Archuleta. This is given. I got to figure out this baby podcast thing because I love her so much. But what do you think? Getting a sitter probably.
I
Absolutely.
think you have to.
Yeah.
Because this, I mean, they're definitely gonna get some comments.
You can get that Uber sitter to sponsor Urban Sitter to sponsor the podcast for that 2 hours and just talk about how we can't hear her because the Urban Sitter is there.
Do a babysitter for 2 hours. Is that okay? Is that okay? No, I have stuff to say. Nobody let me talk. Yes. How's it going? By the way, yeah, she's funny. She's funny. All right, so listen, what do you got coming up, Greg?
The baby's funny?
Yeah, she's pretty funny.
Nice.
She's got jokes.
Yeah. Greg, what do you got coming up?
Let's see. Next week, December 12th through 16th, I'll be at the LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere in Las Vegas. And then 21 through 23, I'll be at the Comic Strip in El Paso. Then the 28th, I'll be back for the Dirty at 12:30 at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas. And then December 31st, New Year's Eve, I'll be at some theater in Seattle.
Okay.
I forgot the name of it.
And Eve, what do you got coming up?
We have the PFL Finals on New Year's Eve. That's at Madison Square Garden. That's going to be awesome.
NBCSN.
NBCSN. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys check us out. And then Adam and I will probably be.
Set the DVI.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We're giving away $1 million to 6 guys. Yeah. So that's a huge thing in mixed martial arts. I'm going home to the Bahamas for Christmas. It's going to be awesome. Junkanoo, I haven't been there since I was 18, so that's going to be a fun time.
That's going to be great.
And then I'm coming back to LA to do the interim stuff between the next season of the PFL, do some more acting. So any of you Hollywood producers out there who want a good-looking, sexy, middle-aged granddad, I'm your guy. I'm your guy.
And Weendawg, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, go to Weendawg on Instagram. Look at my tour schedule. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? In Seattle, it's going to be the Admiral Theater in Bremerton.
Wait, you're touring?
I mean, I'm planning to tour and
As what?
do a live podcast, Weendawg Radio /Paranormal Hour / The No Big Deal Podcast.
Okay, it's all the same podcast?
It's all the same podcast. It's just it's a revolving door of names.
All right. Next Friday, I will be at the Whiskey Bar in Milwaukee. the night before the UFC in Milwaukee. I will be there doing comedy at the Whiskey Bar. And then on New Year's, December 25th to the 30th at the Stratosphere. And then the third week of July, I'm in Harvey's in Portland, Oregon. So
Did you say the third week of July?
Of January.
Okay, that makes
I said
more
July,
sense.
but I meant in January. If you buy things on Amazon, go to adamhunter.com first, then buy whatever you want on Amazon. Got my new CD out, Adam Hunter, Still Broke. Name of my CD. It's on. You can hear it on Spotify. You can hear it on anywhere where iTunes, Pandora. Adam Hunter, Still Broke. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look up Adam Hunter, and because I'm posting videos a lot now. So thank you guys. Thanks for everybody for coming on the podcast. Take care. Have a great life.
I love she got the last word.
Trap sonsen trap dansen Түүний сонсдог хөгжим дур булаан Даадаш дуулан дур булаа мууруулаа